Hey, we're back again on the late night show. Good to be back on the late night show of TCA. Welcome everyone. Just got this sad news coming from a small plane crash Friday evening in northeast Philadelphia near the Roosevelt Mall, causing a massive explosion and fires, according to sources. The crash was reported after 6 p.m. near Cutman and Bostel Avenues. Philadelphia Office of Emergency Management confirmed multiple casualties were reported, according to Action News, which also said the plane possibly hit several buildings and cars in the area. Wow. NBC reported the crash caused a massive explosion. The Leisure jet crashed after leaving Northeast Philadelphia Airport, noting there were at least 6 people on the plane en route to Missouri. But it was on a medical assignment and a pediatric patient was on board. Oh my God. Weather conditions were raining into the devil at the time. Yeah, we're raining today. Oh my God. Our thoughts and prayers to those who, the casualties, those who are victim of that crash. It's sad though, very sad. Very sad, very sad. Man, Ben had a plane crash in our area today, 6 o'clock.
Yeah, I was just looking at it.
Okay. What the plane crash building, man? What are crash building for? Wow.
Yeah, I'm supposed to be traveling for work in 3 weeks.
So I'll be flying next week. Flying next week to Boston.
Still the safest way to travel. So,
man, I will always travel, stay travel. Well, my late father used to say,
the guys got a link. You send it to everybody.
Yeah, send it to. So wherever you want to be, wherever there for me, will meet you there.
Of course.
Jeremy, what's up, my man? What's up with it? What's up? I heard you talking to the Americans so quick, my man. You know, talking to the Trump people already, Ben.
It's the Trump.
Man, you joined the Trump people already so quick.
Well, you know, we got friends in the.
Wow.
Friends.
I'm hearing this guy might be the new secretary for African Affairs. What he needs to let me see. This guy, what his name? This guy, he don't want to be dealing with Liberia and other African countries. What his name?
Who's that?
They call him. I'll tell you right now. Okay, call him. Yeah. His name is John Peter Pham. I know Pham.
But he wasn't there. He was there last time.
But during Trump time, right?
He was there. Yeah, he was there. But he's the head of SPX, though.
Oh, Liberia Portrait of a Failed State. He wrote a book on Liberia, Portrait of a Failed State.
Peter Pham. He's the head of SPX.
Yeah, he'll be an assistant secretary of state for African Affairs. John Peter Pham. Can you imagine the mayor saying Liberia Portrait of a Failed State? Hey, that's not good for Liberia.
He don't want there during Trump's first term, so
that's not good. When I'm saying that, that's not good.
The person who's going to wield significant power will be Chris Smith. Chris Smith, as chair of the Africa Subcommittee, he's in charge of. He has oversight on MCC. He has a bunch of portfolio. So
SPX, the Americans, right?
The Americans, SPX is the Americans, yeah.
And they got screwed, but they screwed them up.
Well, yeah, the people, they're playing games with the people. They've been playing games with the people. The people are trying to do this multi-rail thing, and there's a lot going on. There's a lot going on. You know, American interest. Yeah, I was speaking with somebody today, and they said that the Americans are a little concerned. They say even in the president's State of the Nation address, he talked about China, I think 8 times, and he didn't talk about America.
What the Americans say now?
Yeah, they're very concerned. They're very concerned about the geopolitics in the region. You know, with Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso breaking away from ECOWAS and forming the alliance of Sahel states.
Yeah, Sahel state, yeah.
They have just launched the new passport. In fact, Sarah Beslo-Yanti was in Mali, I think, at Burkina Faso today or yesterday. Lobbying for obviously I think it's for the Liberian seat on the Security Council, but then Joe Bugger has been trying to play some kind of elderly role to see if he can get them to stay. But those guys are going from ECOWAS. They're not coming back. They're gone. If they wanted to come back, I don't know, maybe Pee-wee can chime in here, but if they wanted to come back, I don't think they would have waited this long. You know, they're doing passports now. They you know, but I tell you, it's impressive what Tuareg and those guys are doing in those countries, even though they are military rulers. But what they're doing as far as their approach towards France and these colonial powers are very, very impressive. Paying their debt. Burkina Faso is now producing electric vehicles.
Wow.
Coca-Cola just built a 2 point something billion plant.
And our Coca-Cola playing like, bro, I heard it's almost gone down.
Where you go, Yoko? You get plant now. That thing they put in that place.
No,
you know, my father used to work down there. That thing is.
Yeah, but you think I hope when the comments come on the show, I will ask you that question. What way he can play to get Coca-Cola?
I think it's nothing. It's the way you bargain. People you muted.
Play major role Coca-Cola at the time. Active. Need to do nothing, and now you go do anything.
No.
The
man, do you know that when I shot down a plane during Ebola time, he saved it?
I don't think so, man. I thought that, man.
I mean, I'm telling you.
I mean, they do nothing for that place.
No. And Pee-wee, as a president, you are the chief negotiator for your country, the chief people for your country.
Chairman Morris Dukley, what's up, my brother? Oh, Makan. Good to see you. You guys, they're in my potato grease earlier.
Oh yeah. Makan got fingers, oh.
Yeah. No, but I'm telling you, the geopolitics is going to be very interesting. And one of the things that I'm looking at is with the approach of the Trump administration, the way the Trump administration is operating.
Yeah.
You know, they've cut a lot of aid, and I can tell you, I spoke with high-level officials of the Liberian government. This aid cutting thing is affecting Liberia in a lot of ways. They may not want to scare the country right now, but if there is not a reboot, there may be a problem. You know, there may be a problem with the way how the aid issue is affecting us. So I think there has to be some strategic realignment.
I heard that Marco Rubio. There's some confusion going on about this aid business. They got to reconsider certain areas, setting up part of the executive actions. I don't know. Yeah,
but Liberia is at the totem pole now. Liberia is way at the totem pole.
But Trump instructed Rubio, the Secretary of State, to review most of the budgets that are under the State Department.
Yeah,
right? You know, and then he's going to review and report to his boss, because the intent is the budget have to align with the vision of the president.
Mm-hmm.
Now, so what Trump intends to do in this process, most of those things, they will still put money there for those programs, like the HIV program that's ongoing in Africa. They will still do most of those things, the humanitarian program. But the intent is he wants to ensure those that are managing most of the project that they didn't respect his vision before. They're going to get some of them out, and then they will bring their own guys, control the program, and do some adjustment.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all. That's what basically they're going to do. But because I think this MCC budget also, all those things are under the State Department. So we have to see a lot of things unfolding. But
this where Liberia needs to really put a strong look. I think Chancellor did it. He had a congressional delegation headed by Bromsky at one point in time with some members of his cabinet. They came to America and made a forceful case for the government. But just that I warn you, sir, don't just mess it up, because I think the chairman executive, Senator Minor, came on that trip. Bronsky, he was the pro-chair of the Senate. He led a delegation. I think be there on that trip. The foreign minister, I think Captain, was on that trip. They came and made a very powerful presentation to the U.S. government, the Congress here. The outcome, even when Clinton was going to Ghana, he placed a call to Taylor directly from that trip. Charlie bluff with that other call again. Had a press conference. He said,
what his name? Jesse Jackson was the special envoy.
Yeah.
For Africa.
Yeah.
And Jesse Jackson visited Liberia many times. There was a lot, there's a lot that goes into the geopolitics, but I think the Burkhardt administration has some things to play, and Sarah is going to be, Minister Yanti is going to be placed in the spotlight in the coming months and weeks ahead, because she's gonna have to step her game up. There has to be some.
But Ben, you think with all that's happening, this and they talk about penny reshuffle, you think that it will it will speed up the reshuffling so that president can get a new team, a good team to really engage the international community, especially the U.S. Because as soon as they appoint a Secretary of African Affairs, they got to hit the ground rolling because you're not going to have time. You're not going to deal with Marco Rubio or anybody else. You know that.
They got to get aggressive. They got to get
aggressive and make some forceful.
We don't know if the president is going to make some shift with it, even when it comes to foreign affairs. We don't know who's going to be replaced. Even if he moves Sarah, who is he replacing Sarah with? I see he named recently
a deputy.
No, he did an ambassador's panel or something.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
We headed by Elias Shanahan. It was very interesting. I saw some of the names on that.
These are people. These are a group of ambassadors. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs will call them the Advisory Council.
Yeah, the Advisory Council. Yeah,
the Ambassador Advisory Council. It used to be headed by Ambassador Yen before. Yeah, Jaja Kamara, but those people retire now. Jaja Kamara has been there for almost 50 years.
Yeah, those are the. Remember when we went to see Kim Maya, that the group we met.
Yeah, the Advisory Council.
It had
Ibrahim Kamara.
Jaja Kamara,
He's in career diplomats were there. Yeah.
I think that's the group that Walker is replacing now.
Yeah, the chair. So Shania is going to chair them this time around. The past chair was Jaja Kamara, and then he chaired that. Ambassador Yen used to be here before, but then so you need to deploy career diplomats.
What happened with they say Shania had a problem with the Japanese. What happened? He had a problem with the Japanese.
Yeah,
there was this time when
that Japanese grant wallet or something. The thing
he was the deputy minister for international cooperation and economic integration. There was some issue, but he was not liable. He was not caught liable for any other thing. Basically, the Japanese had the Japanese fund that was managed by the deputy minister of international cooperation and economic integration. That's where Kido even fell in problem.
Yeah, Thomas.
When Shania left that position, he was now appointed as acting minister of foreign affairs. Shania served that for 8 months before Ambassador Madra Kamara was appointed as Liberian foreign minister. Then that's the time he went back now as deputy minister of foreign affairs again. But I think if and I'm not saying I said if there was to be any decision to reshuffle or remove the current foreign minister. If they don't bring Ambassador Grisby, I would think Elias Shania will be the minister that will be appointed as minister.
Yeah, no, I don't think Grisby is going to be.
I think it will be Elias Shania.
No, Grisby not. Grisby going to be a bit tired. That job, not so much job. Foreign minister job, you up and down just that. You be busy up and down in very.
You think Shanahan could be a potential replacement for Sarah?
Yes, on a most serious note, it'll be a perfect and more
he's
because
good.
the structure they have now, need the competence issue. They will think, well, you need someone more aggressive, and I think Sarah Blue or probably may have elevated. I
think her involvement with that whole scheme tinted her character.
More or less overrated her profile when she was with the UN. Right, she's seriously on performing as Minister of Foreign Affairs. We expect the minister to be more progressive. We agree. And again, the Minister of Foreign Affairs job, you have to be proactive and do some things. But the person that ushered the Minister of Foreign Affairs to be very powerful and proactive, the president. The president will have to have, because the president will take the phone and call and say, my Minister of Foreign Affairs.
My minister will come and meet you.
But you need to have a president more engaged.
Billy, you being a former diplomat, and Ben, you can chime in today so you understand Washington a little bit. Does that, raise an eyebrow for the former president who served under Madame Sirleaf for 12 years to have not have tapped into Madame Sirleaf's network? I mean, Madame Sirleaf had contact in Washington. Why should this president be struggling to have contact in Washington, D.C.?
That's a point. And everyone is asking the same question. Everybody is saying the same thing. I would believe 12 years, she had an very good contact. The rapprochement.
Yeah, and I think President Boakai, as vice president, I don't think he leveraged. He wasn't given the opportunity. He did. He came. He represented Mrs.
He represented Liberia twice at the United Nations.
He met Obama.
Even at the U.S. Africa Summit, because he couldn't come because of Ebola. So he represented Liberia at the U.S. Africa Summit, and he was an aggressive vice president. She sent him out a lot to represent her. So, but I don't think he really did leverage it. but he still has an opportunity as president. You know, the thing is, once you become president, you get a blank canvas.
Yep.
It's who you appoint in those positions, and I think that's the reason why a lot of people had high hopes when he appointed Sarah Besloyanti, because she, working in the UN system and the UN ecosystem, it was widely believed and speculated that she had established and cultivated a lot of relationships that she was going to be bringing to bear. So I think it's important who he appoints, if he is going to change her. If he's not going to change her, I don't know. But I can tell you that he needs a reboot. He needs a reset when it comes to his foreign policy, just as he needs a reset with his domestic policy and the way he approaches things. Now it's February. We heard that this reshuffle was supposed to happen in January. It's already February.
Yeah.
Right. So my only thing, and I will continue to say this, I think at the end of the day, there has to be, there will have to be some clear line of delineation here. He will have to present his agenda to the country. He will have to present his agenda to see how the people will react to his agenda, and then start to cultivate. The Trump administration presents his own challenge because there's not a lot of interest when it comes to Africa and countries like Liberia, except you have some strategic alignment. I don't see Trump only met, I think, a couple of African leaders in his first 4 years. He invited Uhuru Kenyatta.
The man refused to meet the other people there. Even the guy.
I think he met a bunch of other them. He met President Weah in Russia. When they had that, I think Russia or somewhere, one of these other countries, or Paris or somewhere, at the Earth Summit. I think that's where he met President Weah. And then another time at the G20, he met a few African leaders. But the only person who got a visit to Washington was Uhuru Kenyatta, and I believe Cyril Ramaphosa of South Africa.
Yeah, I'm the guy from Nigeria. He didn't come, man.
No.
Ramaphosa and Kenyatta, the two of them.
No, Buhari did not come. They did meet on the sidelines of the G20. So Trump, and Trump, he's his second term. He's always America first.
Oh yeah.
He's negotiating strong with people. So except you present something that provides some benefit, I don't think he's going to be interested. So what that means is that congressional staffers, State Department is going to be very powerful when it comes to formulating.
Yes, that people you engaged. Yeah.
Very, very powerful. The Africa desk, whoever that Africa desk director is, whoever those congressional staffers is, Chris Smith will be extremely powerful.
Chris and not Smith alone, but the guy from Delaware who replaced Joe Biden was Chris Coons.
Yeah,
also
Chris,
a member on the foreign
He's
relations committee.
a Democrat. I don't. They put. I
Well,
mean,
he will be ranking. He will be a ranking.
Yeah, he's a ranking member of the foreign relations committee.
Yeah. Well, not only the foreign relations, it's mostly the subcommittee on Africa.
Yeah,
the subcommittee on Africa is where the power is going to lie. And Chris Smith is going to wheel. He's the chairman. He's the chairman
on that committee. Yeah,
already.
Chris Smith from New Jersey.
But I'll tell you exactly, Peter White. Thank you. He met George Weah in Scotland at the I think one of those conferences. But I'll tell you, I think if I was the government, if I was the administration, if I was advising them on a diplomatic standpoint, I would say cultivate relationship up Capitol Hill, strengthen relationship within state, reach out to those congressional, and that's where what's the boy name who is now for international cooperation, Dr. Right?
Yeah.
That's why he has to be very, very aggressive. He can do that. Especially at that level, right? At that level, he's deputy minister. At that level, he can come to Washington, D.C. He can cultivate relationship with congressional staffers. You start to get some Congress people, Jasmine Crockett, all of these young progressive Congress people. They are noisy. Yep. They will partner with Chris Smith. They will reach out and say, listen, the way Liberia will be able to get money will be appropriations and sticking things under bills. That's how Ellen was very successful.
And that's how they said Trump gave up people kind of thing pass. Timothy alluded to that the other time. It was because they foiled that into the bill.
You have to put it into a bigger spending bill. You add it as an attachment. Yep. Once it passed, right? That's how to be the approach. But they're not gonna. It's not gonna work the way they've been doing it the last 12 months. They will have to get aggressive. Nyan will have to come to Washington, D.C., probably spend about 2 or 3 weeks here, knocking on doors, pressing flesh, reaching out to people, talking to them, building relationship. It pays when you have relationship with these people, some folks who you went to school with. Because what happens is that some of these folks who are congressional staffers today more than likely will be congressmen and congresswomen in the future. So because the people build and they elevate their internal staff and try to keep them. So I think it's going to be very interesting looking at the Trump policy on Africa. He never visited Africa in his first term. I don't expect that he will visit Africa.
I don't think he's going to visit even this time around. But another thing that they really need to do well on is that the trust of the people, reassuring the rule of law is respected. All right. Even if right now, I think as I read on the news yesterday morning, that they rescinded the order of the freeze on the foreign aid because it was affecting other main allies of America, and so they rescinded that and they were reviewing it and to see how best they can go about that. So Liberia, who is solely dependent upon foreign aid, really need to look at, in the direction of domestic revenue generation. In as much as we cannot do away with foreign aid, we also have to generate revenue.
But the gentleman, I was told that there's a brewing problem. They war crimes court, Chris Smith, Alan White, they were all in for it, and now when they removed that guy, Jonathan Massaquoi, and they took it from there, it's a problem now. It's a big issue between. They're not happy with it, and for the feel that the Burger administration they deceived them that they were going to push it. Then to make matter worse, Prince Johnson passed, and he was the main target, to be honest with you. So now, with that in mind, and then with this HPS stuff, Liberia is in a tight situation, like Ben, like you said. You need to have an aggressive foreign service team. That's why it's maybe. But let me ask you: you think there's a reason why the president not extending this olive branch? I heard he's making president call to President Weah and other opposition leaders, Cummings and Gonglo, to invite them to the mansion for a meeting.
Look,
he put it in Sona, so I heard that he's gonna start.
And from what I've been told, he deliberately insisted that he wanted that piece in his Sona. Clearly, the president had a terrible year. Right, the last 12 months have been terrible for his government. They've been on the defensive for the longest. I mean, since I don't think he even had a honeymoon period. But some may say he's had a honeymoon because the opposition has not been extremely aggressive on him. But I think they've been. It hasn't been a good year, right? His first year has been challenging. So I think there has to be a change in strategy. I think some of these outreaches that you see he's going to start doing is going to be deliberate. It's going to be intentional. I think what he has said, and what I was speaking to people who are close to him, they said to me that he's now of the mindset that he's tried it their way, that he was able to let some of the other folks lead, right? He was able to say, listen, gentlemen, okay, this is how you want me to do it, right? Okay, I'm going to give you the opportunity to do it. It clearly hasn't worked for 12 months. The country is in a very, very difficult place. The people, the confidence level of the people in the government is nowhere near where they want it to be. Can they turn it around? Yes, they're the ruling establishment. They're the government. They have the country. Right, but I think the president has to be seen doing some. There has to be some tangibles, and there have to be some symbolic things happening. Right, a meeting with the former presidents will work. The burial of Samuel Doe, and some of those things will kind of do. But then ultimately, they will have to deal with the bread and butter issues. They will have to deal with the economic challenges. They will have to figure out how they can make that pivot to begin to look at some of the issues that the people are talking about, some of the concerns that people have, how people are feeling. They will have to deal with some of the issues that have been lingering. He has to come across as somebody who is in charge. The country right now, the general perception out there about President Bokar is that he's not in charge of his government. He will now have to show that he is in charge of his government, that he's the one calling the shots, that he's not just sitting and people are running circles or silos around him. He has to re-exert his control. He has to come across as being very presidential. He has to come across as being very in control of his agenda and communicate that to the country. I think he needs to speak to the country a little bit more. One of the geniuses of Donald Trump, and I tell
exactly. Yes.
Donald Trump has spoken to the American people in 10 days.
Yes.
More time than Joe Biden spoke to them in 4 years.
Yes.
I mean, any little opportunity he gets, he jumps in front of the camera. Every opportunity he gets, he's jumping in front of the camera.
And Chairman, look, that one of the things I learned from Trump, right? I'm not a fan of Trump, but he loves the media. And he don't care whether you give him hard time, he will go after you. Yo, Rocky, like he was talking about the crash. And this lady, I know she sounded, I think, Hispanic or something like that. And she said, Mr. President, I mean, but honestly, she wronged the man. They're talking about people talking about the crash. And she said, the 14 in Rwanda and Democratic Republic of Congo. And what are you going to do about it? Trump said, yeah, that's serious, but we asking that kind of question here for? And he said, next person. I mean, you shut her down quick. I mean, honestly, you're talking it's a national tragedy. And you're talking about Rwanda and Congo fight.
That's the reporter.
People go ask a question here when they put it out.
I mean, that's the question that she's interested in.
No, but not the people talking about people that they lost out of plane crash. They lost.
I understand you because
answer you get off for.
What's the name? Temani. These journalists can be pressing that way to have an opportunity to ask questions.
Yeah, but
right, and that was the only question that she thought about at the moment.
There's a place and time for it. You can't do it when people having.
I'm not defending her. I'm just telling you what can happen, behind the scenes with these people.
There's a place and time for it.
No,
yeah.
but let's get to something here that I really want to work on. Liberia today, we cannot move forward anywhere. We have the expert here, Mr. Phillips, that spoke about energy. We also had Professor Kennedy also spoke about the economy and also how it ties into energy. We saw our president in Tanzania, and Temani, I sent you that video as well. There was a specific question that was asked the president. Because there is a $60 billion United States dollar towards the investment on energy dependency of African nations. Part of the reason why Africa is struggling today is because many countries around the world, many countries on the continent of Africa, I meant to say, are struggling to keep that country. Even the largest economy of Africa, right, Nigeria, their power situation is like 5 and 6. They're always going offline. They're always having issues. NEPA and all other power company. There were, so this African energy summit thing in Tanzania was a big deal. And our president went there. He was the last to speak, and there was a direct question to him as to how he intend to address the energy sector of his country.
Yeah, but let me say this though. Let me say this. Why it's true that he didn't answer that question, but I can tell you, Liberia benefited from it. Do you know that, right?
Yeah, they're one of the pilot countries.
Yeah, Liberia one of the pilot countries. So, he didn't answer the question, but he came back.
So Temani, here's the thing here, right? Yeah. It is not about what do we benefit. The cash is good. Money have gone to Liberia. We saw 16 billion.
Listen, hold on. I know you will come to my throat, right? 16 billion United States dollar was spent by the United States government to Liberia over the course of the 12 years period, right? And where are we today when it comes to electricity? We have
you said 16 what?
16 billion United States dollars.
That's not true. Why are you coming on that figure?
Why I'm coming on the figure? No, hold on, Pee-wee. You don't have monopoly with information.
It's not monopoly thing. Stop that. Then why you coming on the figure?
The other day again, you came here when I mentioned.
Leave that. Why you coming on the figure?
Anthony, Jack gave the reference.
Yeah, man.
I'll give you the reference now. I'll give you the reference.
But Ben, he brought Tanzania business.
Let's talk about Tanzania.
Why is it
One minute, 2 minutes. The reason why I'm asking this question, and the issue, I'll let you
get it. Hold on, Pee-wee.
I'm asking this question. Well, you
gotta ask the question yet because I will not interrupt you like that.
I'm saying, how come you saying these things? Because just the last time when Malcolm McCarthy was speaking about the reason why sanctions come on Liberia, he said from the time the war started, all the things about America has spent $5.2 billion when he get that report on Liberia. It's getting peacekeeping or other intervention. Where you coming from $16 billion?
No, that's not true.
Where you coming from $16
Yeah, but
billion?
let
That's
him-
not true. Michael
Anthony,
McCarthy did not say what you just
what's
Where
said.
you
your
coming from
line?
$16 billion?
No, Michael McCarthy did not say what you just said. The other day you came, Pee-wee. Let me just say this to you. The other day you said they threw out the case of the TRC out of court. I checkmated you and I posted in the group chat, even on the live feed, that your accusation was flawed. And then you backtracked that and came here to say, oh, you were only saying that Madam Salih was told not to run, and the Supreme Court said they could not hold her to run. All that. You start walking back your statement, right? That's what you do. The other time, I held you accountable to Liberian article, the Liberian government not being able to create an avenue where there will be production of our raw material instead of adding value to our raw material. You cut me off again. Let me just say this, right?
Anthony, go ahead.
Yeah. So let me just say this to you, right? The circumstances with money coming to Liberia is not the point. The point here is, would the money be used for the intended purpose? We saw right now we have the solar farm. There is no battery storage plan for it. All right. There is no battery storage plan for it. You saw Mr. Philip, who is the energy expert, came here and talked about that. So if Liberia does well today, we all will benefit from it, especially those people on the ground. You may disagree with my assertion, that's fine. But if you have the opportunity to speak on the issue, you speak on the issue. Don't just cut me off because you feel as though you have monopoly on the information, right? This situation with Liberia receiving aid and the money having been put into the right circumstances for us to benefit or for the nation to benefit. Electricity has always been a problem for Liberia. Today, as we speak, only 33% of Liberians have access to electricity, and the vast majority of them are found in Montserrat County. You want to dispute that again?
So but Anthony, where did you get the 16 billion figure from, though? Is it proven out there? Is it out there that there's been 16
It is
billion?
out there, and I can find it. I can go out right now because I'm using my same device to stream. I can go up and post the link.
It's okay. Look. For me, I think.
Let me just respond to this. I hate and that's the reason why sometimes when you have a discussion with certain folks, like, oh, you think we're monopolizing? Listen, I'm not here to monopolize nothing whatsoever, and that's why I don't have to indulge with people that we have comprehension disability when we have a discussion. I hate to do that.
Disability. Go ahead.
Here's what I said the last time about the TRC process. I said clearly there was a report the Supreme Court trashed, and when the TRC report came out, it was clear and indicated in the report that certain figures or individuals were involved in economic sabotage. Certain people were stopped from contesting the Liberian political spheres, and the Supreme Court said that was totally unconstitutional. That aspect of the report is what I emphasize. You can say you corrected me and you did it.
No, you did not say so. No, you did not say that. You're walking it back now.
And I have consistently stated in this place.
No, you did not say so.
They present a statement that they spent $5.5 billion on Liberia from the time, all of the time they've been spending money on Liberia, $5.5 billion. That's why when you said it's $16 billion agenda, because I know I got
all of the time. They have been
$16 billion from the time.
Don't say all of the time.
You said America has spent this.
Is that include that amount?
If you show, listen, if you show $16 billion, I would never count Liberia. If you show $16 billion, I would never count the show. That I'm saying that
are you saying tonight?
Ben,
all of the time.
I would never count on the show. It didn't mention $16 billion.
No, give a specific time frame now. Is it post-war Liberia or all of
the
time?
If you show 16 billion,
let's get the timeline. Let's get the timeline.
If you show $16 billion,
no, listen, Pee-wee, let's get your timeline.
I would never count the show.
Pee-wee, don't make this show about you and I, right?
No, I'm not even going
there. Don't make this show about you and I.
Let Gary from this stage. I just want to say,
because every time you get my voice, you get agitated. I don't know what happened with that.
Okay, but guys, you let me progress.
Yeah.
So but Pee-wee, here's the thing.
That's part of what we ought to understand and want to do.
But Pee-wee,
we have this question.
Pee-wee, listen here.
And just want to
when you speak on this show,
basic point to move through.
If you disagree with me, that's fine. But guess what? Don't dismiss me.
I will always understand in how I want to deal with things. And my process of dealing with things, I do it on the basis of Research
Ben,
are made.
is it fair to say
People have
he disagree with
indulged
me,
in-
but he shouldn't
and-
dismiss me?
and-
Because,
and-
I mean,
and-
that's
and
what
the-
you always
and-
do.
And the rest. Maybe you.
I mean, don't be dismissive of me.
you-
Why
you-
you
You
feel like
sometimes,
you have to do
sometimes
that?
I don't know. I don't know how you do things. I call dismissing you.
But man, you're
Yeah, man. I have way bad thing. I have.
What you call way back?
Way bad thing I can be bringing in. What you call dismiss? I can dismiss nobody. I validate and respect your point. That's the
No,
kind
you
of
don't.
person I am. I validate folks' point. I put you in the category you are. If you want to go to, now you
I will
see.
stay on the show. I'll post the link. Simple as that.
You know. Post the link now. If you post that, I will never come as 16 billion. I will never from America to the bureau. I will
Okay.
never appear here.
America, they don't get
Billion?
physical cash. You know that
Whether
it's
you
in
think
aid.
system,
It's in aid. It's in aid.
this
They don't get
$16
physical cash. You know that, right?
nobody. It is 16 billion at what? I'm really thinking you said that as soon as what 16 billion.
yeah.
16 billion.
Ben, go ahead, man. Go ahead.
Cote
go ahead.
d'Ivoire
So-
national
so-
budget this year is 25.1 billion naira. Cote d'Ivoire,
Ooh.
right next door.
Yeah, but that's the
No, I'm just. But I talk about
See how the
12
man
years
is
period.
like in pivot. We're talking different.
yeah, but Anthony, you're talking about aid that you said the US gave.
Say, hey, they talk about Cote d'Ivoire budget.
No.
Yeah,
He
yeah,
said,
yeah.
he said, 16 billion. It's not a big deal for America, but they will not give it to Liberia.
I didn't say that. You didn't understand. So you know that weight of $16 billion.
If I don't know
Anyway,
the weight of 16 billion,
Y'all make
You said
progress.
spend 16 billion on the bureau. 16 billion.
Y'all make
When
progress.
the part already said, release their own ambassador said they spent 5.5 billion on our country. And that's why they
5.5
put
billion.
them
What
both in
time
our
period though?
politics. And he said 16 billion.
All the time that Liberia has existed for, or a time frame. Give out a time frame now, because I want you to be specific. Give me specificity on this particular timeline, because that's what you're gonna do when I bring out the information again. You try to push the goalpost. So give me a timeline.
From the time from 1847 or 1826, America have never
1847?
spent. I come on, man. They never spent 16 billion on our country. That would challenge you every day on there. If you brought it out, I would not come with
Since
you.
1847 up to this time, America has not spent 16 billion on Liberia.
Bring it. Oh, you said you got a link. Bring
And
it,
when I
post
bring
it.
out that information, you will never come on the show. You will not even come on the show.
Anyway,
Y'all
y'all make progress.
Why is
So
16 billion?
for me, I think let's expand the conversation a little bit onto, because again, like I say, I don't think the Trump administration. I think countries like Liberia will have to get creative when it comes to the Trump administration. With the Trump administration, you got to get creative. You got to figure out a way what to be able to entice the Trump administration to want to look at a nation like Liberia, right? You want to make sure that some strategic alignment is in place, that they can see to say, you know what, there is value here. And that is where the thought process of diplomacy is going to be very, very important, because whoever is going to continue, if it's Sarah Batslow-Yanti who's going to continue to drive our foreign policy with the blessing of the president, she has to get creative. If there's going to be a new Minister of Foreign Affairs, that new Minister of Foreign Affairs has to get extremely creative in how he or she would deal with our traditional ally. Then you have the issue of the Chinese lingering, right? The Chinese feels at this point that they have to prove something in Liberia. They think that over the last 6 years or the last 7 years, or the Weah administration, there was a breakdown in that relationship. So they want to get very aggressive. And from what I've been told, that aggressiveness is making the Americans a little nervous. Like I said, I spoke with somebody today who is high-level folks from the U.S. Embassy folks, and they said to me that the Americans were a little nervous because Boyka mentioned the Chinese 8 times in his
speech,
in his nation address. And I think he just called America one or twice, where he just said, "Oh, our traditional ally." Those are the kind of, and these things may look simple to you, but these are big things for these countries, because America doesn't, America has defined, the United States has defined her greatest threat, the greatest threat to U.S. security or U.S. interests in that region is the rising influence of China and Russia. And they see Liberia as a country that is theirs, right? Now, we have to walk a delicate walk. If America is going to be cutting back on aid, if she's going to be cutting back on aid, and maybe you can chime in on this, What do we do? What do we do? How do we pivot to the east without pissing off our traditional ally? Right? Ellen was very good at doing that. How do we pivot to the east without
She
pissing
did it
off,
cleverly
without pissing off the United States?
with the airport and
We know how we do. We know how do we do that without then getting a little jittery? Again, like I said, when you look around the region, there's a lot of Chinese influence, and you can see them getting aggressive with Liberia. They're talking about this overhead pass. They're talking about revamping most of I think they broke grounds at the 14 military hospital to build a state-of-the-art lab, something there. All of the projects that they have put on hold during the Weah administration, because the Weah administration had a no nonsense policy when it came to the United States. America, once you're America enemy, you're our enemy. We'll always vote with America. That was the U.S. That was the Weah administration policy at that point in time. But I don't know. What do you guys think about how might we be able to navigate the war between these two powers?
I think and you're right. We have to be very strategic in terms of how we want to do it. And if you were to, and that's history, and I don't want to go deep into that. The Toba situation, we know how it started and what ended. How there's an article that I read in recent time that there was a lot of position that Toba took that didn't go well with Uncle Sam and the rest of that. And according to what his wife said, those that actually executed him were hands and the rest of that. So we have to be more or less very strategic in terms of how we want to engage into the problem. America have been very in a more strategic way, and that's what Madame Salif pointed at the times. She said we can say traditional, but she said our premier traditional partner. They've been very, very much helpful to this country. They did a lot of intervention to our country and the rest of that. Now, to pivot from the United States in the way manner that you want to do it, you have to be strategic on it diplomatically and understand that you have to be very savvy about it. Other than that, you're going to invite some issue that, because those countries, I don't know if China is willing to come and do what we actually need in terms of morale boosting, in terms of confidence building of our security, our democracy. So there's a process we have to do. And if the Chinese were to, you see, other countries are trenching the line in terms of the geopolitical process that's unfolding in our region. So, but America herself will have to be strategic in trying to handle Liberia, because Liberia is strategically placed with them. So, and I think if this government, the Bouakai government, were to continue this kind of approach, they will extend more ahead, and that's the time they will want to change their diplomatic engagement. Trust me, because if you are so quiet and so servant, the U.S. wouldn't pay too much attention to you. Mm-hmm. You have to be strategic. Do kind of a sort of servant actually diplomatically. I understand Liberia is pushing the economic diplomacy process. In partnership development, economic diplomacy is vital. How can we leverage? And that's what we have to do. We need to leverage our foreign policy instrument that will bring some things back to us. So we are a small state, so a small country, but we do have a strategic geopolitical interest. Mm-hmm. And that line will have to be leveraged. And the Bouakai administration seems to be trying to do that. Now, the president called in China 6-10 times. Was it deliberate? I think it was deliberate.
Of course.
Yeah, it was deliberate. So the process now is that they're trying to get something, because if you cannot do it this way, you have to find another way to do it. So, man, on a serious note, I think it's the way that they're doing it strategically. They have to manage it well, but sometimes you have to be bold enough and ready to engage America. America are going to listen to you. They're going to give you some leverage. They're going to have some conversation with you. And that's why, we are mission, when you stated right just now, we have said before, the friend of our ally is our ally. Right? Believe it. Every time, and that's one of the reasons why at the time America, even Liberia, even sacrificed our relationship with China. Mm-hmm. I was having some major project to be implemented in our country. We voted against that, the United Nations, in terms of the human rights process, and that was contrary to our foreign policy objective. Our foreign policy objective, the major foreign policy objective of Liberia, is the element of non-interference. We did interfere into China policy. We said they are violating human rights, and the Chinese didn't take that lightly. And that's one of the reasons the Chinese didn't do no other project since that vote was taken against them. They stopped. Recent time Barker came, they are now, ever since after the focus, they're now re-engaging into more diplomatic engagements, more other things, progressive projects coming out, and the rest of that. So the government is strategically doing it, and he's deliberately doing it also. So let's wait and see what's going to happen. But I advise them to be more or less, you leverage our foreign policy objective and get what we need to have as a nation that is strategic. Because Liberia play a very strategic role also at the United Nations. Many countries will come after to do some things and the rest of that. So we're going to look at this process and see, and then we'll go to what's going to happen. I think Marco Rubio is very more strategic because they're going to understand that the geopolitical process is very important in that region. You don't want to let go in that end, no. So I think they're going to have some engagement, and that's one of the reasons why I believe that this compact is going to be delivered to Liberia.
Okay, Anthony.
You on the phone or you muted?
You muted.
I was muted. Sorry. Yeah, to a certain extent, I agree with Pee Wee. We got to be strategic. But one thing I see that will really help Liberia on the both from the Ellen Johnson-Sirleaf approach will be a very good. You're working with United States here. You're working with China here. That's how she was able to get the deal for what's the name, the airport, right? We have the Royal International Airport contract today came from the Chinese government, even though she was still working with the United States government, getting things done, and she gained their trust, she gained their respect, she gained their recognition, and also the Chinese also were able to implement that project. Today we have a good terminal, other than what we had before, right? But another thing that Liberia can do to be seen as a strong ally to the United States is for Liberia to start, doing things on our own. Domestic revenue generation. We need to be able to stand on our own. You can't always be waiting for external help, Ben. Right? People will not value you. You have this one friend. You're always asking for something. You're always asking for something. Without you, you can't stand. I think that was not. Liberia helped the United States win the Cold War during Ronald Reagan time. Right, and that's how they built the Omega Tower. We are, geopolitically positioned in and people spoke to that, right? We are positioned in our region, for that purpose. So Liberia is positioned strategically on a geographical map, in terms of America and Russia circumstances. So they need us in that regard, but we cannot always just be, waiting for a handout from them. We got to be able to stand our own ground, be able to pick up the other stuff for ourselves to create, opportunity for our people. We are not doing that at this moment. We need to get to that level. Look at Rwanda. It's a small country, but powerful nation in the East, right? I mean, it's a small country, but very powerful nation in the East. Rwanda trains some of the, on the United Nations, security, peacekeeping forces. A lot of Rwandans, security officers are on the United Nations security team, right? They go to these foreign missions and all of that stuff. So these are things that, Liberia always part of it. Don't get me wrong, but Liberia does not have more members compared to Rwanda on that team, right? And we need to take that role. Us being, a non-voting member on the Security Council, that's a plus for us. But we cannot just take that alone. Domestically, we got to be doing something for ourselves. That's how I see it.
Interesting. So your strategy is, you think we have to get a little aggressive with how we approach from a domestic standpoint, so that it kind of. What about potential partnerships with and it bothers me because I'm thinking, what does Mali, what does Burkina Faso, what does these countries have that we don't have, that they're able to get aggressive with their local content, what they're doing locally, how they're using the budget. These countries have been able to grow their budget. They've been able to grow their pie. They've been able to create an effective system. Why don't we seem to be able to get it? Why are we stuck perpetually under $1 billion. I mean, listen, if you were to do the aggregate as far as the years since we've had peace in our country and stable governance, we should have crossed $1 billion.
20 years gone past.
Yeah, we should have been able to cross $20 billion. Long time. Is it what our population? Is it the lack of innovation when it comes to how we collect our revenue and what we need to do? I mean, what can you guys talk about that?
Yeah,
let me go first, Ben. You can
Go
close on
ahead.
that. Yeah, here's what I see, Ben. Number one thing is patriotism. We lack the patriotism, right? We lack that nationalistic approach to our nation. That this is my nation. I make sure my people are taken care of. We will do it our way. We'll make sure we put our people first. We don't have that kind of leadership in Liberia, where the patriotism is the national anthem of the day. That put your people first. Liberia first mentality, nationalistic approach mentality. We don't have that. Ben, today, foreigners are more respected in Liberia than the regular citizen of Liberia. Foreigners in our business sector are taking over the business sector. Our staple food, rice, in the hands of foreigners. Major businesses, Liberian businesses cannot even compete with any foreign business in terms of purchasing power, bringing more goods and commodities to the country.
Yeah, but that's what is stopping us?
So here's the thing now. What is stopping us? The answer to you is that patriotism, that leader from the executive mansion down.
Patriotism is stopping us from raising our national budget?
Yes, because here's the thing. When you do not put your country first and don't value the investment into your nation, because we're not investing into the nation.
I respectfully disagree. I mean, Anthony,
yeah,
we have a diaspora that pours in 200 to 300 million. I stand to be corrected, right?
Yeah.
And is that the number? I think it's around 200
yeah,
million.
250, 200, almost 300. Yeah, you're
Almost
not wrong.
200 million, right?
Okay, so yes, what we're doing now, we are helping our fellow family member, whatnot. It's the nation, it's the government investing into the citizen that will create job opportunity. We're not doing that, right? Burkina Faso, for example, like you just talked about, they just paid a national debt by $4.9 billion. The money that they used, they didn't take loan from the World Bank, not the IMF, not the European Bank or African Development Bank. It was domestically generated revenue from other commercial banks and other things. And they also invested in that country, launching a tomato factory, launching right now Coca-Cola, building a plant there and all of that stuff. I mean, you look at these things, Ben, the remittances that we remit to Liberia, it's not an investment into the government creating partnership,
I know, but I'm still trying to create
job opportunity. Right?
I know, but I'm still trying to put my finger on why over the last 20 years we have not been able to raise our national budget to 1 billion. I'm still trying to put my finger on it.
Because Pee Wee gonna come in the last 30 seconds. Here's the thing, Ben. If you have lawmakers, you have the executive branch of government coming together, working on the national budget, what are they focused on the mostly? Their salary, their benefits, and their allowances, right? Are they focused on investment that will yield return in the public sector that will generate job opportunities? Are they investing the money into agriculture, into tourism, into education, into technology and innovation? No. The vast majority of the Liberian national budget are remittances and people's salary. When it comes to other initiatives like hospital and schools and agriculture, look at the national budget.
Okay, but I want to ask Pee Wee, I need to get your thought on this. The reason I'm asking this is because in every society, in every bureaucracy, government bureaucracy, there's waste. So I don't think the issue is waste, right? If we're discussing waste, we're not discussing that why it's not 1 billion. Because from what I'm getting from Anthony is he's saying investments, all of those things. The question I keep asking is 20 plus years of peace and stable governance, no interruption whatsoever, none, right? People haven't stopped paying taxes. Government continues to say that she's meeting her quotas, right? Why haven't we been able to raise $1 billion? Why?
Yeah, lot of factors. So basically, lack of innovation in terms of the area. But again, we haven't tacked in most of the. Now, first, let's go back to the defense sector. Is an open issue here. Let's go back, for instance, to the LRA, the Liberian Revenue Authority. There have been reports in certain quarters in those institutions, sometimes like the real estate area. There's no major policy we.
That's a $200 to $300 million bucket that we just got wasting.
Absolutely, and that's one of the main reasons we're not doing that. So
that's what I was trying to. That's what I was trying to figure out. Is it a lack of innovation? Is
lack
it
of innovation and lack of
innovation?
Yeah,
because it just doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, lack of innovation, corruption, and we don't want to attack in the schools and what in those areas so see generate money. A lot of money. There's a big chunk of money sitting right there. The real estate area. That's one. And we have to revisit again. We have to be strategic. Even custom. Most of those, the tariff we put on vehicles and the other thing, we even have a rule and a law in our country. See, we have to pay penalty if you are to bring any vehicle in the country more than 10 years old. You have to pay penalty to that. That's not innovation. So many folks now wouldn't do that. For instance, if someone were to bring a container, that's why today, recently they had up, they put most of those containers on the auction there. Mm-hmm. People will abandon most of those things there.
So they lose revenue.
A lot of revenue. So lack of innovation, Ben, and the country will have to be more open to these things and try to. And so our lawmaker will have to be also. We have to look at our tax policy.
Can an argument be made, Pee and Anthony? Can the argument be made that the country has, I don't know, there have to be a reimagination of how we visualize government?
Oh yes, quickly, Ben, before you.
Because we've been doing government the same way for the last 20-something years,
and that's what's going to happen. The same way you're doing. The last time I was in Lofa during the campaign. I took some time to go in some villages, but going backward before Lofa 2014, I was in Bopolu, in Gengba, and other areas. Go to the mining sector, Ben. We have the food and leaves for other countries, Burkina Faso, Guinea, and other areas. They are all in the forest in those huge, desolate forest areas. They are mining our gold and diamond. They pay nothing to her, no major thing. Maybe a director for the Ministry of
Speaking of that, then not to call you. Speaking of that, the government of Mali, I think it was the government of Mali.
No, Burkina Faso.
That seized the 120.
They see the money area, and data said now making the
No. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about there is something I saw in
Mali.
the news.
That was in
Mali. There's this company called Barracks out of Canada.
Oh, Barracks,
Barracks out of Canada. The government of Mali seized $150 million worth of gold from Barracks. Their argument is they're demanding 50% royalty compared to I think the 10 or the 20% that they were paying in the past, and they literally seized the gold. And Barracks, and I just read something that said they potentially is about to agree that listen. They're like, listen, if you can't agree, pack your things and leave.
Yeah.
Now, this is where I keep saying, is it because you got a company like B Mountain in Liberia, right? Taking hundreds of $millions worth of gold out of Liberia. What is the tax rate? What is the tax rate for B Mountain? How much?
I don't have that information.
If we look at what we have done over the last 20 years?
20 years.
Yeah, more than 20 years.
Right? Ellen was 12, we was 6. So they're around 20 plus years, right?
Yeah.
Right? Stable government, no disruption, no civil war, no coup, nothing whatsoever. And we still have not been able to raise our national budget to $1 billion.
$1 billion, yep.
To $1 billion. We're still hovering at 700. And every time, that's why it was so despicable when I saw the other day. Double Jala in his press conference, they giving each other high five that they've raised, a 700 million, and they're excited about it.
Yeah.
But President Biden said in Sudan that they exceeded
4 seaports.
You got 4 seaports right?
Oh,
You
And we have the longest coastal line in West
You
Africa.
have one of the longest coastal lines in the region. You have an attractive maritime industry.
yes.
Yep.
You have literally everything that's working for you. And God be damned, we haven't raised $1 billion.
And we got 46% of the rainforest in West Africa.
And that is where I say we need a president that is in hurry.
Yes, that's a
We
word.
need a president
Say that
that
word
is
again,
in
Ben.
hurry.
President that is in
We
hurry.
need a
Yeah.
president that's in hurry, right?
Yep.
A president that wakes up and I want to speak directly to President Bokai because I think he can be that president in hurry because
Nah, he cannot.
because you know what? He can make a determination. I heard him say something in his Sona, focusing on the next generation, not the next election. I think President Bokai needs to wake
It's a
up in the
catchphrase.
morning and read the Riot Act to his people and say, listen, this is what I saw the other day. They were signing performance contracts, right? The president needs to challenge his people. Why? I mean, like I said, how in the 21st century we are not innovative enough, Tomini, to raise $1 billion? I can't, pray God tell me, I can't understand it. I can't. Mali, Burkina Faso ran by a 40-something-year-old boy who's a military man, took over the country, has been able to pay $4.something billion of the country debt.
Yep, 4.9 billion.
4.9 billion with a B. He's paid it off
Without
He's
even
able
taking
to
a
lead
loan from
ECOWAS.
outside source.
right? He's opening factories, industrializing his country.
Yep.
He's doing. What is wrong with Liberia? Is
But
there
Chairman-
a problem of?
Chairman, the simple thing is that we need a transformative leader. That's all we need. Somebody
And
who
Ben,
But can we expand the conversation that about transformative leader? But maybe we also need a woke society. Maybe we
Yes.
also need a people that is woke, that demands more from the government than just accepting the reality.
But
Can
that's why some people are saying that this whole thing about Trump putting freezing aid to Africa and Liberia.
Maybe it may just be a good thing.
It'll be a good thing because when your backs are against the wall, right? But then you're my disappointment now. Talking to somebody, Ben, I think I told you the president, but when we call it email, the president said when the president met with the president said, "Oh, about if America aid suspension comes into effect, how will Liberia what will compensate to?"
They will use the maritime money.
Maritime money. Come on now. And then I think people understand the maritime thing. Good. He get a good lecture about it yesterday to us. And from what he said, that they're all depending on then when we
But
are-
person I told you that thing, I know the person
Yeah.
in government.
the president in government, they're close to the president, I think. Yeah,
Oh, no.
yeah,
Maritime
but-
understanding that somebody running our program.
Yeah,
We
so-
cannot run the program. We can run the
but
program.
the president said in his speech that they exceeded Dr. Jala exceeded his
And it's about $2 billion.
revenue.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. So there is Tommy. I think it's depressing, to say the least. It's depressing because the country has so much potential. The country has so much potential. I think there's so much that can be done. I think people need to just start to think different, think outside of the box, right?
But you think if we forget about if we make our we become a how to call it less cash based economy, like for instance, paying our revenues, paying our taxes, not physical cash, but come up with a system where you're paying through
Mobile
in
money.
America.
Yeah.
Yes,
Mm.
yeah, doing that. Maybe because
No, but we're doing well in those areas now a little bit.
yeah, but if
No, but there's still a lot of leakages too.
Because-
And that's the problem. The
Still a lot of
leakage-
leakages.
because some people
I mean,
still-
in this day and age, people are still government functionaries are
But
still
listen,
going to the central bank and collecting
I
money.
was in Liberia last year, right? I think in June, I was parked somewhere in Waterside. I told the guys, I said, look, I'm not walking down there, so I'll be in the car. They want to buy something from me. And the guy came and gave we got from the car, we walked to some place, we came back. The man was giving the man, I said, why? He said, the man gave you a ticket. He gave you something. Because you parked, something parking ticket, he gave the guy. I said, well, then you pay the man cash for what? I said, he said, yeah, as the man issued that ticket, you get a receipt. He'll carry it, they'll go to the office, they'll check a receipt, the normal money he got. I said, how you all doing business? No. All he needs to do, he issue a ticket and put it in the system, put it in the computer. or again, my mellow. So when the police pull that car over, then it's a different thing. But again, until we can get our leader who will take Liberia serious, will be on his path for a long time. Because honestly, everybody comes there with their own idea, their own mindset, their own plans, and what happened. And so that's why I say 2029 was give an opportunity for us to really reset our country.
Look, let me say this, right? Let me say this, right?
Mm-hmm.
That transformation that we're looking for is not in this government. It's not because I don't support this government. You understand? Ben, let me say this to you, right? This administration had 5 retreats. 5. And out of the 5 retreats, we didn't see any changes.
Okay, Anthony, let me stop you. You. Let's take off the partisans' hat for a moment, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We got to deal with Joe Burka for the next 5 years, like it or not.
That
We
is
have
true.
5 years to waste. Is there a way? Can we? I'm trying to figure out a strategy on how can we pressurize our government, our policy people, without it coming across as I'm rooting for you to fail so that I can come there, right? Because let me tell you what will happen. Let me tell you the vicious cycle of where Liberia is headed. Liberia is headed or we are already there. So I don't mean
we are headed.
where we are headed, where we have arrived, or where we've landed, right?
Mm-hmm.
And sadly, it happened because of this change between UPCDC,
Correct.
right?
Mm-hmm.
We're in a space where everybody is at a place where, okay, you know what? We're gonna come after you.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna make sure you don't succeed, so we can get there. When we get there, then the other side gets in that same mode. So we'll do everything we can do to make sure that you don't succeed so we can get there. In the meantime, the country is stuck in perpetual decline.
Yes.
Why? When do we get to a point? And I agree that a majority of it rests on the government, because the government has to be the one that extends that olive branch to say, hey, we need help. It's okay to ask for help. It's okay to say, it's okay. That's why it was a good thing to hear the president say, and I hope he's serious about this, to hear the president say to the other folks on the other side of the aisle, let's join together to build our country, right? Forming a government of inclusion or whatever he wants to. Nobody, Mr. President, nobody's saying post social opposition in your government. But I think there are strategic things that can be done that can begin. Look, there should be a reason. There should be no reason why Mr. Cummings or Mr. President Burkai have not reached out to Mr. Cummings to discuss economics. There should be no reason whatsoever to sit down and say, listen, Alex, maybe Alex may not even be the brightest economist ever, right? Alex, this is where you come. This is your world. This is your cup of tea, right? Are there recommendations? Look, we have Liberian millionaires. We got Richelieu Dennis. We got all of these people. Why have the president? Why have the government? Why can the government not tap into the capacity that is out there? Why? Is there a reason why? Is there a fear thing? Is there a phobia thing? Is there a thing of not being comfortable in your skin that if I ask for help, it makes it look like I'm weak? And guess what? The CDC government was also guilty of this foolishness. Correct. Where you see people were holding, like I said, people holding their wing. People hold inferiority complex. Thank you, Desmond Finlay.
Yeah, but Ben.
So let me say this, right?
That is it. That's like the inferiority complex.
So Ben, remember?
No one reaching out for help.
So Ben, remember, I want to take you back a little bit. Remember the first press secretary of Judge Ware was Sam Mane. Remember Sam Mane?
Yeah.
Good. Mr. Cummings outlined 15 economic pointers, short term and long term, and presented it to the WIA administration. There was an economic summit. Sam Jackson attended that summit and whatnot. Mr. Cummings was on his way to South Africa. He didn't have a chance, but submitted that 15 pointers to the CDC government. The response from the executive mansion by Sam Mane then was, oh, we're not here to sell Coca-Cola bottle. You understand?
The man work to your administration, outlining things. You don't have to take all of the advice. You don't have to take a suggestion.
Anthony, I can interrupt you. But
Yeah, go ahead.
Ben just said take a partisan hat. That's
it.
But listen now.
Talking about right now,
listen
you
now.
got 4.5 years to do a Joe Parker. Talking about something that happened.
How can
Hold on.
How can we help?
Okay,
hold on.
Okay, let me. I was laying a premise, but Timothy gave me. I was laying a premise. Ben, here is the problem that we have today. It's not that other opposition leaders don't want to help. Currently today, many Liberians who have competence for various government jobs, when they look at the resume, oh, they may have affiliated there with this other party. Oh, they may have affiliated. That's the problem that is killing the country today.
But let me ask you another question. Do we have to go in government to do this?
Some of them don't want to work in government. Some of them don't. Does Larry Kennedy want to work in government?
No, that's what I'm saying now.
Yeah, but Larry Kennedy always, when he come on here, he always give recommendation. He does not criticize the government without giving recommendation. Larry always lay out what are some of the things that it can do now and what it can do in the future. He always talked about that. That's the era of economics. I'm not an economist, right? So I'm not going to say that. But yes, what we can say here, Ben, this government need to get outside of that bubble of saying, oh, this person is not part of my party. If any Liberian, like you said, has an idea that can move the government forward, then let that person's idea be taken into consideration.
Look, the danger here, Tomini, and you coming in, the danger here, Tomini, George, is that we got 5 years to deal with this thing. It's
Exactly.
5 years. I mean, do you understand what this means? If we stay in this current mindset, right? If we stay in this current rut of a system that we have, this government is not going to succeed. They're not going to succeed even from an economic standpoint, right? They're going to continue hovering around. Maybe the highest they may end up, maybe an $800 million budget. It will come down. There may be a budget shortfall, depending on what happens. Depending on now, guess what? A lot of our budgetary support is donor-driven, right?
Yep.
As the world starts to squeeze. Because once America starts squeezing, other countries will start squeezing also and holding on to their little purses too, right?
Yeah, but that's
how is it possible? What can we do to figure out a way to break this cycle? This cycle of, I'm going to pull you down to get there. Once I get there, then I too jump into the mindset, you know what? I'm going to pull you down so I can get there. And in the meantime, we just continuing into this rabbit.
Look, you organize set up like a some lake conference or something like that, outside government, right? Where the private, like you said, Ben, like I was talking to Dualu, our friend Dualu, okay?
Yeah, with this thing he's planning. Yeah. We need to bring him on.
Yeah, he planned to come on.
Mm-hmm.
I think we'll do sometime next week. And honestly, almost like the venture capitalist thing that Mitt Romney and they did and made millions of dollars for it.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good start, right? But again, people gotta trust the system, trust it, okay? And then somebody asks the question, what will happen if things go wrong? But that's something that we could venture into and see how far it will go. And that alone, if when he explained to me, you're generating money, millions of dollars from it, and then you can invest it in the economy, in different sector of the economy. If you can do that, I'm sure we're on the right path. But again, too, if you say everything you put in, you won't get in government involved and get it stopped there. Like somebody said, everyone don't have that glorification where they say, well, I'm the one and to give that John Major instant like Martin Luther King said, everything I, you get a credit. But that's why affecting your Ben. For instance, if you somebody you did project management, you got a good idea, you want to carry it forward. The person will say, Ben won't do it because to carry it near, and then next thing you want to run tomorrow. The mentality we got. We get that mindset, become true nationalists and picture of our country. Well, at the end of the day, want a greater good for the greater good. That's what we want. I was talking to somebody this week, and I was trying to find the president. The president just came from seeing President Taylor. So I said, so I want you to ask him this question. When he talked about Vision 2024 at the time, what 1998 he talked about, what was he looking at? What was his vision for the country? What you want to see Liberia? Ask him where, if you were when he meant to that agenda, where you want to see Liberia today at this date. Let him share with us what he was thinking of. Because he was a guy who was looking at far too. Said that on top of talking about his vision for the country and so forth. I want to see what he meant for Liberia to be at that point and so forth, to pick his mind, pick his brain, because honestly, we have the potential. Ben, besides that, Ben, we got the country, got money. Think of, Liberia is rich. The only problem our country faces with is that with the leadership and the people are not honest to the country. That's all. Because, like for instance, how can you be paying $1,200,000 a month? How the country will, so that how the country economy will grow? How will you put the money, share the money around, but people invest in different parts of the country? And that problem with facing, Ben, look, in places like Marshall, Johnsonville, or other cities around, like the guys you were telling us tonight. It's true. I bet Nima in the night. You in Nima, you think you believe you in Liberia either. But my question is, Ben Nima can be balling, no joke. The economy there is booming.
I'll tell you that I know, like the new president of Ghana, right? One of the things that he campaigned heavily on was a 24-hour economy, right? An economy that don't stop. Like New York City, like these cities, right? You hardly see, maybe they put their clothes for maybe 1 or 2 hours just to freshen up, and then they come back to do. But the thing is, again, like I said, there has to be.
Well, let me ask you a question quickly. PMB, do we have any factory in Liberia that operates 24 hours? A factory like other countries, like when we're in Firestone, that you and I, if you live in Lamco, Bon Mice, they had these plants. 24 hours working. People work first shift, second shift, third shift. I want to have any of that in Liberia today, where you having the things.
I don't know if it's 24 hours because you have a power problem. You have a problem with power. That's why it's important in this whole conversation we're also having. It's important that we solve this problem of power, and we got to also not just look at it from one dimension. We have to look at it from renewable energy. There's kinetic energy. There's different types of energy. We have rain, we have sun, we have the renewable things, all those different things. We have carbon credits, all of those different things that we can be figuring. Again, like I said, I think we need. I don't know if we need an innovation conference. We need an innovation conference, and I'm not talking about a conference with a bunch of politicians going to go sit down.
People talking.
That's not what I'm talking about here. I'm talking about what I'm a huge fan of Paul Kagame, right? And these are the kind of things Paul Kagame will do. Paul Kagame will convene a technology summit where he will invite experts from Google and Apple and all these places to come into Rwanda and have a conversation about leapfrogging into the future. We need an innovative summit where the president invites the best and the brightest minds to sit down and plot a way forward for the country. The next thing we also need in Liberia, Tommy, is a national development agenda. A national development agenda that is not from one party. One party come, they change it from arrest to propo, from propo to what it is, poverty reduction, Kilo High, Vision 20. We need a national development agenda that is comprising of all fabrics of the society, that is legislated, that compels whoever comes to power. You can have your vision, you can have your way to do it, but there is a national agenda that will drive you, and you build and you craft your agenda. I mean, you craft your vision within the national agenda. So that way, you're not jumping from, we fixing road. From there, why we jumping to we fixing what it is, electricity, a national agenda. So listen, with the next 3 years, the national agenda, it means that we're not doing anything else. But the primary focus of the national agenda is to fix the power problem. That's the primary focus of the national agenda for the next 3 years. Figure out a way, how can we get innovative to fix the power problem in the country? The next 3 years, you leapfrog into connecting the country by roads, doing feeder roads, focus on ecotourism. That one term of the presidency right there. The next thing you look, if you get re-elected, you expand. Another leader come, you pick up from where that person, almost like a relay race.
I mean, but
Man,
it makes sense a lot. It makes sense, but Bando, when we come to office, what we do is we find to be do all kind of funny to like look at wasting since October, country been wasting time, the country wasting on this speaker based on all that stuff. That waste of time. President, though, you want to see your president that gets up in the morning, the next day say, oh, America, yeah. They say, oh, President, right after the State of the Nation address, President is on the road. He in another state flying. You do this state, you trying to break ground for opening this factory for this one. I mean, you want an economy that they said, Ben, the economy that would then be asleep.
Our economy, look,
moving, but
nations that have thrived. Look, we don't have to rewrite history. We don't have to reinvent the wheel. There are countries that have been in our position or even worse place worse places than we have been that has leapfrog.
Botswana.
Way behind. Botswana, another great example. Botswana. They are now leaving. Botswana was a diamond. I mean, there's still a diamond. What did you need? A diamond driven economy. But they're diversifying. They're diversifying their economy now. Yeah. They're trying to figure the same thing Dubai is doing. Mm-hmm. All these Singapore, all these countries are doing because they know. You see, Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia has all of these countries are thinking ahead, and we are just perpetually stuck.
Ben, I think you know this guy, Siafa Diggs. You know him, right?
Yeah, I know.
He was somewhere here on one African country the other day. He was showing me the video. I don't believe it. And you think that he's in Europe. See this?
That's all I do. I sit on YouTube. The guy was watch these videos.
The guy was showing me
bad for my country.
What the country? The guy, he was showing me the country. He said, "Can you imagine the place he was stopping? I mean, you won't believe it. He's on a apartment in America, but in Africa."
But go Abidjan.
That's the next Jacko, right? And that's the other thing I'm about to say. We acting like we gotta go. We acting like we gotta go to far places. Go right next door, Abidjan. Go right next door to Ivory Coast, to Cote d'Ivoire.
Money, go Abidjan.
See what a national agenda. See what a national agenda looks like. A national agenda that was put in place by Felix Houphouët-Boigny. That country has not deviated from that national agenda, even in the midst of a civil war. Even in the midst of a civil war. The difference with us and them, they didn't go shooting up their buildings. They didn't take AK-47 and shot up their light poles. They didn't dig up things from the ground. They fought their civil war. They came back. They figured out the way. It don't mean I didn't got problems. They still got political problems in the country. They still have certain instability when it comes to politics and who won't run and Ouattara won't run for a fourth term and all those things. But there is a national agenda.
People are nationalistic. The people are concerned about the country. No, but Ben, look, so I look, people in Ben, I know sometimes I sit down and you want to cry for your country because look, the potential is there. I mean, we can do it. But the problem we got is that we're not putting the right people there, and then we're lacking that leadership, that vision. I mean, you will see, the people get the power, it's all about themselves. And then how will you move the country forward? You got trivial things you're fighting for. Things that, man, look, it can hurt, it can hurt.
That's why I say
maybe librarians are traveling, they'll get to understand. If you travel, you know for real. Look, I was flying with Ethiopia Airline, and I got to I think we're in Togo. We're in transit there. I couldn't believe it. I mean, you think, I mean, we're getting in a bigger jet. I mean, you get from the terminal, you walking straight. You won't believe what you're saying. But come Liberia, man, look, I don't know. That book that St. Jackson wrote, what is it? Rich land?
Poor people or something.
I mean, in lie. The country is rich. I just heard a few days from someone that there's some mineral they found in Liberia that every plane needs. I don't know what the name of it. Every plane needs that mineral. Now, can we make use of it and tap on it? And
there was one Chinese man will go in.
Yeah, look at when they discover oil in Liberia, oil, and so document. I'll look at somebody was telling me about it. Said,
for the oil power, we have not discovered any commercial quantity yet.
No. Let me tell you something. But they say when Taylor they discover oil, But Tito was very,
Oil is there, and then after the people spend a lot of money.
So period. So the guy from Exxon Mobil. So how he made that money, like, bro?
Well, no. That's
exploration.
Yeah.
They were exploring.
Not exploration, that the oil block. They have discovered oil, but they have not discovered oil in commercial quantity yet. Yeah. Because we still, the reason it's positive is because the reason.
No, but you know, I some gentlemen, this is my sister. She just came from like, bro. I want to say, okay, she's a strong member of the rescue group, right? I mean, she just came from bury her mother-in-law, but she says she just came from like, bro, nothing is going on there. I mean, I'm happy she's saying it. She's being honest because Vashta is being honest because Vashta didn't support. I mean, no fault about that. That's your choice, but I'm happy that someone who supported the government to come and say this.
And you're right, Dominic. The thing is, but
how can we change the situation?
Yeah, we have to remain. We have to figure out a way how to get out of this.
Yes,
we have to find a way how to get out of this mindset and this rot of, okay, let's root for them to fail. Because what you're talking about is when they leave power, they're going to root for you to fail. They're not going to be able to cooperate with you because
do that.
So we can't do that. Our tenure for president already long. It's already long. It's not like 3 or 4 years where you can say, you know what, we can close our eye. By the time we baba our eye, the person we will go on to another election, right? But I'll say this over and over. I think we need some kind of reawakening in the country. I think we need to reimagine our country. I think we need to rebrand our country. I think we need to. What is Liberia known for? What is when you Google the word Liberia, what do you see? You know, when you Google Rwanda has been able to turn a tragedy into a national asset, into opportunity. When you hear about the Rwandan genocide, it draws people to Rwanda because they want to go and see the genocidal memorial, right? I saw something the other day on the executive mansion's website. Say the president set up some committee to honor ECOMOG, the ECOMOG memorial, all those things. We do not even have a national memorial to commemorate those who were lost during the war.
Yeah.
We don't. I think the only memorial we got right now in Liberia is at the PSP Park.
I want them. And baby, look, you give John we are credit for that PSP Park, you know, because you know why? When you go there, the place where the official was shot, we went into the place. That place is turned into a memorial. You go there, you can sit down there and you just reflect about what happened.
But there's a reason those things.
13% was shot that day. 13%, right? 13% was shot.
But there's a reason, Dominic, that you do those things.
Yes.
It's because, look, you know, I was having when I went to Monrovia, I got a chance to, I think the former vice president birthday, when I did that moderation with the former vice president of Nigeria, and the first lady of service.
Yeah, I remember that time, yeah.
And in the backstage, before we went on stage, I was having a conversation with Vice President Osinbajo, the former vice president of Nigeria.
Yeah.
And one of the discussions we were having, I was just, picking his brain because I was trying to understand his thought process for us to have the conversation. And I remember one of the things that he said to me, because the thing was a conversation with young people. He said, what is interesting is 98% of those kids in that hall that's going to be listening to what we will be saying don't have your experience. They don't know war. They're a part of a generation that was born without a gunshot being fired. But yes, your risk. The reason you have an agitated society where people think that it's okay that they can just say, you know what, your child was part of a place, even though they have it's very hard for you to hear people who went through the war talk like that.
Yes.
Because they understand what they went through, right? Mm-hmm. But he said something profound to me, and I never forget that. I said, well, Mr. Vice President, we have a saying here in Liberia, and it's something that I've heard over and over, and I think it's true, is that experience is the best teacher. And he told me, he said, no, Ben, you're wrong. He said, if that is the saying in your country, right? you guys are wrong. He said, you guys are wrong. He said, because experience is the best teacher for fools. And I said, what do you mean? He said, experience is the best teacher for fools. He said, experience is not the best teacher. History is the best teacher. History, meaning you don't have to experience war to know what war looks like. You don't. So because we have a generation of Liberian people who didn't go through the war, we must pray for war to come to Liberia for them to understand what war is? No. What we need to do is we need to teach that history to our children.
Yes.
We need memorials. We need things that they can go. Tommy, have you been to Kigali?
No.
When you go to the genocide, the genocide memorial in Rwanda, when you walk out of that memorial, you walk in as one person, you walk out as another person. Because you know what they have in that place? There's a room. They have rooms in that place where they're playing the audio of the people screaming as the people were hacking them. There's a room called the Hollow Room. When you walk in that room, you listen to the cries of women, babies being hacked to death. When you walk out of that room, nobody got to go tell you, don't go commit genocide. So what I'm trying to say is, all of the things that we need to invest in, Mr. President, investing in an ECOMOG memorial is fine. I think it's a good thing. But we need to invest in a national memorial
For the entire war.
for the war. We need a museum. We need something to remind our people. This notion of never again.
Yes.
Maybe call it never again, where our people get a chance to go and relive that experience. And the parents, I can take my child and say, I remember in 1992 when we had to eat palm cabbage. How many Liberians know about palm cabbage? How many Liberians know about eating rice and mayonnaise? How many Liberians know about facing Kesawali jollof rice? How many Liberians know that story? Those children, those young people today that go to school in Liberia, that take everything for granted. You got to reawaken those children's spirit. You talk about patriotism. I think Anthony was talking something about patriotism. You talk about patriotism. People are not born patriotic.
No.
Patriotism is taught. It's a way of life. There's a reason why they have the Holocaust Museum. There's a reason why Jews are reminded. That's why you see them, the way they fight and they band together.
But let me ask you a question, right? Look, my lawyer in America is a Liberian guy, and he's someone who he'll tell you. He called me. He said, he we were playing soccer in Liberia doing the back. He said our manager. She said my manager there, but my little brother, but he's my little brother to me. But his mother was one of those who was killed in the Lutheran Church massacre. His brother, his little sister, his mother, his little brother, and I think his sister, they were killed there. And because of that experience, he's still today, after all 34 years later, he still have that hurt. Is that when he talks about Liberia, he talks with passion. I mean, like he's so. I mean, I try my best to see how best I can help him to forget about that past. You know, not forget, but just to just accept the fact that it happened and we can move on. But he still wants, up to this point, he still wants people to not be to be held accountable for what they did at the Lutheran Church, right? He still got it in mind. Every day we talk, he don't want he say he just can't accept it that his mother, he was young and he lost his mother in that Lutheran Church massacre with his little brother and his sister, and he's in America today. But he has been blessed. He's an accomplished lawyer and he's doing well. But he wants to take his family to Liberia to carry those children show them the Lutheran church that their grandmother was murdered and so forth. But just as I was talking about it, I mean, I've been trying to find out how do I help him get from out of that mindset. Because bring Liberia about
it's a process, Dominic, and let me tell you something.
And last thing he always tell me, he said, "Look, Tommy, he said, big brother, my position is this: Liberia should be given for trusteeship for 5 years." And he still said it today. We say for 5 years, put on trusteeship. That's what I want to see happen in Liberia. I mean, I don't blame him. He hurt because you lost your mother, your brother, and your sister in such a thing, and with no accountability from it. That's why.
And there have to be some closure.
Yeah, they have to obviously be a closure.
So do you think we need how you end this the war crime funding? Whether it should be retributive justice or how do you call it that one?
Restorative justice, and then there's retributive. So look, it has to be a combination. It has to be a combination of both, because the truth of the matter is most of the perpetrators or key people of the perpetrator or people who we know to be the key perpetrators of the war, they are either old and dying off.
Yeah, exactly. Let's get to the restorative aspect of it.
Yeah, we may have to end up doing
restorative
and retributive at this point.
Yes.
Right?
For retributive now.
But I'm telling you, it's more than that. It's more than that. There has to be a process. It has to walk hand in line with economic empowerment. It has to walk hand in hand with people understanding that there were consequences. There are consequences for this thing. It's a whole ecosystem that needs to be developed. And what we have tried to do over the last couple of years is, one, politicians have exploited it to use it to their benefit. So it has become very polarizing. There's somebody said on the thing, I forgot who it was, either Finlay said, look how the death of Prince Johnson, look at what we just went through.
You know, somebody told me, they said
what we went through.
They said, you're not alive, but that death, that the celebration of Prince Johnson's death reminds of about Tubman death.
That's what I'm saying. Look at the emotions that is sparked on both sides.
Yes.
People upset, people mourning, people happy, it tells you the cleavages that still exist in the country. It tells you that the country is still hanging there in the balance. You saw the vice president of the country mount the podium. You heard him the way he spoke.
Yeah.
That is the vice president of the country who should be representing everybody. He stood up and he said, Senator Johnson, you're not guilty. Think about those who feel that those who know that they were offended and they were hurt by Prince Johnson. And you hear the vice president of the country. At least the president, to his credit, he tried to stay in the middle a little bit. Yeah. He talked about the fact that Prince Johnson was a part of the bitter past, but he also played his role in getting us to so he played kind of like but my thing is, there have to be a point where we stop and we look at ourselves in the mirror, but say that something is wrong with this picture.
Let me ask a question. Okay, the other day, I think last week, we witnessed the sentencing of the former New Jersey senator for 11 years for bribery and corruption thing. Now, my point is, we don't have. You think if Liberia reached a point where those who betray the public trust, if they are found guilty, they are sent to court, and they're allowed to go to jail. Say we come on and every day say, well, God forbid, Tommy George was sentenced to. He's sentenced to 10 years in prison for bribery, for corruption, and you really believe that? And it's not a joke. Tommy is actually taken to prison to serve my time as a former elected official. You think it was how to do these things where people are serving jail term? Okay, not the common people. That is common people, but people who have been elected and appointed, but decided to betray the public trust. They are found guilty and sent to jail. And they say yes, the person serving that person time. Do you think it will help? It will change bring a change in the country? To people will say, well, if I steal, if I undermine the public trust, then what will end up with me? And number, the second thing too, I want to carry further. Where when you are placed in jail, when it comes to cleaning this, I mean, I don't care what people say, clean the streets, put that orange jacket on them, let them be clean the street. You think it would deter people from doing the wrong thing? Do you think so?
Listen, it will, because later justice is supposed to be blind. The essence of justice is that let justice be done to all, pretty much, right? It should not have an eye. Justice should not have an eye. Justice should not be able to differentiate between the powerful and the poor. But like I said, because of the society you have, the population will mob somebody who stole a motorbike to death.
Exactly.
But they will hail a politician
who stole their money,
and who keeps them perpetually.
They will defend him. They'll say they will defend the guy.
They will have the defense force. They will have the. So again, structurally, the country is broken. The country is broken structurally. The country needs to be, again, like I said, there has to be a reawakening for the country. This is not a situation where people is the chairman for the new political party. Yeah. You know, so Tommy, you're right. I mean, when you look at the genius of this country is that as imperfect as these United States are, there is a sense that we are all equal.
Yes.
Even though we're all not.
Yeah.
But there's a sense.
Yeah.
That the man who could get elected president can get indicted.
Exactly.
He was former president. He could get indicted. His mugshot will be taken. He could go through a trial. He could get convicted. Well, guess what? Oh, they can stay elected.
Exactly.
But you know the beauty of America, though, and that's what I tell somebody. Because of this Trump experience, they will put guardrails in place.
Oh yeah, they're in place. Yeah.
It was because of 9/11 that we got a Department of Homeland Security.
Yeah.
There was nothing in this country called Department of Homeland Security. It took 9/11 because the bureaucracies were all over the place. You had USCIS, you had TSA, you had everybody all over the place. FBI doing their own thing, the person doing their own thing. And because of that, they were not sharing information. So they blame it. They say, you know what? Because information was not filtering in the system, we had 9/11. Now you have, so let's create Department of Homeland Security. Liberia is the only country that I know that we will have tragedies. We will have things happen. Imagine how many fires have happened in Liberia. And I'm still seeing the senators having conversation with the fire chief. Why you buy the fire truck?
No, but Ben, yeah. When it comes to that one, let me be honest with you, right? Dylan was on point, okay? Dylan was great in fire chief, but guess what happened? And you could tell, and there have been a system. They don't say we put $2 million extra to buy fire trucks. But guess what? When he was great in the fire chief, so senators are interrupting straight. Because you know why? What they do when they on the committee and that money is allocated, appropriated, and then when the money comes, they tell the people, say, well, man say, well, put the money there, make sure I will share there. And I can bet you the reason why I meant by that fire truck because they tamper with that money. So they wanted for him to, because they were great and man, they were confused, so they had to rush there. And
but that's what I'm saying.
It's a problem, but guess what? Yeah, but the problem I got to now, why should we allow it to be so? They have what they call performance report when you go before the committee. Oh, one day will come a time where you have a committee where you got people that all on a committee will be people who will really be putting the country first. It will be shocking. Well, when you come before them and you got to do that performance report to the committee to tell them what you do with the money they may appropriate for your agency, then I want you to see reality. But other people do, they put money in your budget and they go for it. When the budget passes, go get a share. The country can go nowhere, man. We're not seeing the people do the thing. Okay, do the thing. What happened in the country? And then, like, I'm sorry to bring something up. Today, I heard someone discover somebody, and person say, "Oh, I know you and Ben, your whole chicken close. You're gonna go to now. You're gonna go and you also see your own picture of Burger soon." Because I said, no. The problem you're facing, your Liberian can face is that if you talk for them all day, you talk for them, you put your neck for them. By the time you slip or you say
if you see the president say, "Shake my hand, take a picture," you're not the picture.
And they start cussing you. The first thing they think insulting you, I think different about you. But when you're going through, look, just now I was sitting here, right? We just raised one of our friends, they're raising money for her right now. We just raised 10,000 for the person right now, right? Quickly. But guess what? If that person were alive, will you raise that kind of money? The person asked for that money now.
But what I can always say,
you won't do it. But the person now, you won't by the time you think you do what I want, the person will come back. But again, look, in Liberia, you cannot be certain places you can't go, you can't be friends with a certain person. Okay? And honestly, because like I told the VP, I said, I will not take picture of you no more. Because people assume that I took picture of you, I get money for it. No, because guess what? The mentality for God. It's the mentality for God.
Tommy, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something, and let's try to close because we can.
Let's
try to wrap this thing up. Tommy, let me tell you something. I have come to the point in my life, and on my political journey when it comes to Liberia, is that I do what my conscience lead me to do.
Exactly.
I go to bed and I sleep sound. I don't ask my wife when I'm sleeping, I don't blink. Sometimes she can wonder, say something going on. I don't lose sleep on people. Are you kidding? Look, Tommy, if I go to Liberia and I decide that I want to pay a courtesy call on the president of Liberia, I will pay a courtesy call on him. If he wants to see me. He will have to want to see me.
They will chew you good, though.
I don't care. The reason
that's the first thing.
But let me interrupt you small quickly. PB, like I'm looking at Coastal Post today.
Man.
Auntie, and when last time I checked, you have 5,000 comments already, and then they whether they like or dislike. I saw around 4,005 at the time.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, it shows. I want to say so, but then I read the comments there too. It makes more positive. I mean, I saw for him more positive in the comments I saw. Okay, but what did you understand? What that young man is going through, whatever decision he made, decision from, they don't understand it, but they go after him. They tear him apart, do everything they do. But again, like you said, Ben, you mind saying for all by yourself.
But I'm a little tired about the issue about the way they would tear him apart and other thing is that he has not well managed himself in the past in terms of his utterances and the rest of that. Right? As of him coming up, you have to be strategic and you have to be very observant in terms of how you want to engage in things. It's not, and politics is about, it's not a loose game. And we pretend to understand, to not want to know deeper those kind of lines. Now, you need to build alliances in political process. You need to have the trustworthiness moving forward. If I can trust you, or someone can trust you, I don't think the Pope trying to score him in the line that they hate him or other thing. It's just his own inconsistency and he erratic way of engaging. That leads to those things, right? So it's not a wrong thing. As a man, there are certain things I don't say about you if I know you. If I said those things about you, if I come back,
and I don't disagree.
I agree with you.
Then
it's dangerous, right?
So I don't.
Today he reconciled with the president.
Yeah, but let me say this. I don't disagree. And let me say this, Pee-wee. I'm not disagreeing with you. I respect your opinion.
I come on before you continue. That's anything I would say about Ben sometime. If Ben were to even attempt to come and talk to me, his own way I would say I would divorce you if you go talk to that man. To come and talk about someone that the person is, I mean, let's definitely we're good at open reconcile today, right? And not that very important. People are dealing with him that way because somebody are angry. We don't do that. We have to learn to be grateful and to learn to shut our mouth sometimes. That's all. But he's a good guy. But
and I don't disagree with you, but let me say this. And I think that's the reason why he did what he did today.
Yeah, it was good.
Right.
He did it. So
But
he
with
has to
that
learn
being
moving
said,
forward.
with that being said, nasty things were said on the other side too.
Oh yeah,
Not necessarily by President Buckeye, right?
and that's
But
the problem. And that's the problem.
Nasty thing was said. Obviously, President Buckeye, the
Liberian people, you're
Yeah.
talking. I thought I wanted the number going on now.
right? Nasty things were said.
No, I'm sorry. No, before I really intend to say this because for some of us trained as a traditional people.
No, but Pee-wee, and that's what I'm saying. I don't disagree with you.
Nasty thing that was said, when I said about it, you heard anything for that old man?
Yeah, but Pee-wee, I don't disagree with you. All I'm saying
who did they reconcile actually?
All I'm saying is at the end of the day, what we have in our country, and for me, I think it's more of a testament of who the two of them are. They've decided. It's taken about a year and a half for them to get to this point, obviously, right? It means the both of them have thought this thing through. They made a determination that they want to. The problem that with Liberian people is this. Liberian people like to find hero. They like to dress heroes up. Mere mortal men, we dress them up. When they slip, we tend to crucify them. That's the nature, not only Liberian people, but that's the nature of men, right? My only thing is this. Look.
You think your creator will probably won't shift the blame on the Liberian people?
No. Not shifting the blame on the Liberian people, because guess what? The Liberian people, again, that's why I said, the Liberian people, in my mind, tend to be hypocritical on a lot of these things. They tend to do that. Again, like I said, yes, to whom much is given, much is expected. Heavy is the head that wears the crown. If you have certain responsibility, or you are thrown in a certain light, people will see you differently and they will treat you differently. I don't hold malice to anybody who is critical.
Okay, I know we're about to go. Let me answer this question. Okay, if you were given advice, Costa. So I mean, how would what happened today, right? How will you come yesterday? But how will you? What advice you giving? Ben, me from people. What advice you would give?
Advice like how?
Going forward, like for the next, going forward, because the government get 4 more years. What advice
going forward, keep quiet.
Let me just add more there. Were you telling him were you telling him say, well, you should you get involved in politics again? I mean, you'll still be political, but right now for the next 4 years, will you take a side? Will you defend the government? Will you oppose the opposition? What will be your advice?
So, for me, my advice to him moving forward is to just learn to be a man of and know when to talk and how to engage in those things. But that's what I'm going to say to you. The activity of he engaging, I don't know his role he want to play in the process. He want to do more things that he's going to benefit of this government. At a certain point in time, they're going to oblige him to engage into the politics. That I will predict, and I will say to you, that will come at a certain point in time. He's going to be pushed to certain things, because if he starts benefiting of the government, pushing him, making sure his business guy getting more lucrative, he confident, he start giving benefits of consultancy in mineral then there was that, man, I can be the only boy, I got to start doing something there, right? To push the guy. But I would advise him to say, hey, and I mean, he got some traditional orientation. He said, yeah, so he got to understand to be a red pedal man. The pedal man went to the pro society. It's not everything that you say. But I want to believe he's going to learn the issue, adjust to those situations, and ensure that live in conformity with changing times. And that's what I suspect. He's going to live in conformity with changing time, and part of the changing time he's going to be pushed at a certain point to have to get engaged into the politics. Is it the old men directly are going to do it? No. But agents of the old man, his protege, are the one that are going to, if at a certain point in time, push him to engage into the process. But again, if his thought process now is to go and make some money, then you all have to see it.
So if they push him, if they engage, should he accept it and or he just say, no, I want to stay in my lane?
It will be difficult to stay. If they want him to do it, will be difficult. He will have to bosh. If he didn't bosh, then they would discontinue whatsoever opportunity they give him. So it's going to be a difficult turf he's going to find himself. right? So, and that's one of the reasons he saw this happen all over the place. Say, hey, you have to get some soft landing here. You know, he first started on the vice president process. He landed softly there, and eventually, less than 2 months or thereabout, today he came. There's a huge reconciliation with him and the chief executive of the country, and the chief executive showed some level of leadership and the rest of that. What the next thing they're gonna do, if we're getting close to elections and other things, even before that time, trust me, it won't take the next long period you're going to hear Costa. There will be time you say, okay, breaking news tomorrow, I'm going to say something. You kind of praise Uncle Joe. Uncle Joe is a good man. He's this, he's this.
Why Uncle Joe not running for re-election? Why he running for re-election?
If Uncle Joe what?
If he not running for re-election,
then they will call up him to Kunsa. It's a difficult time he's going to find himself. And I may be saying
I want to see that. By the way, I want to meet from Bounty.
Let me say this.
I may be wrong, but that's my suspicion. Don't be like the Unity boss. They understand this thing. They will push him to do some of these things. Eventually, he will be the millionaire getting the milk will all be over here now. The grease coming here. When the money start coming, then you'll be so you say more even you're there drinks on the Hennessy. You say I'm going to make a podcast about the cool and the government and all that thing. You know, and that's it. Trust me.
I think. Listen, if you ask me about an advice, I think first of all, I think there's some growth that has happened here. I think it clearly shows that there's some growth. There's been a lot of sober moments. I think he regrets some of the things that he said. Let's also not forget that he was also hurt. He also felt slighted. And I think also that's one of the reasons the president too have extended this olive branch, because he too know that he may have hurt him. He may have wronged him, and he understands the.
How did he get hurt?
Yeah, my man, let me talk.
I'm coming your talk.
He's saying Joe Biden ain't do nothing to Costa.
How did he get hurt now?
Are you
saying
saying
vice president?
No, that's not what I'm
From
saying.
that perspective?
No, Pee-wee, first of all, you know.
But yeah, if you're getting angry, I mean this again.
No, I'm not getting angry. What I'm saying to you see,
you gotta use brother.
Let me say this. You see, the reason why I'm saying this is we act like Costa woke up one morning and just started talking about Joe Biden.
Because I had no reason to do what he did then. Nothing whatsoever.
Pee-wee,
for me, you know.
Pee-wee, you see, you spoke blanket just now. Costa had no reason to do what he did. You can talk about the length at which he went.
That's what I'm saying.
But then say he had no reason. Say he had no reason going the length.
Yeah, let me agree with you on that. No reason to go that length, and I agree.
So then that is acceptable.
Yes.
But Costa had all reason to decide he wants to support Joe Biden again.
Oh, absolutely.
So that was the crux of the issue. That was the crux of the issue.
And that's the reason why I just told you, thank you. I agree to what you just said just now to say.
So that was the crux of the issue.
He had no reason to go disengage, but to come say that man is dying, he's this, he did, to bring everything outside that way. Who want to trust him again?
But you see, but my man, I let her hear that trust thing. Because Pee-wee, the vice president of Liberia said Joseph Boakai will be wearing dapper. He's vice president. What are we talking here?
When did he say that?
Y'all need that trust.
When did he say that? I come, Ben. Calm down a little bit. When did he say that? At what point did Kun say that?
Go watch the tape on OKFM.
I come in 1 minute. Kun said that at the time he was not supporting.
Really? When Costa said it, when Costa said the things he said, was he supporting Joe Biden?
When Costa said the thing, I come in 1 minute. When Costa said the thing he said,
yes,
he was supporting Baka first and came afterwards.
No. Point of correction.
He was supporting Baka.
And Pee-wee, let's not relitigate the people problem. Let's be fair here.
No.
Am I saying Costa?
We discuss the element of the news.
That's a news element.
That's a news element today, right? Was there a news element today?
Pee-wee, let's talk one at a time.
Was there a news element today?
What do you mean a news element? Yeah.
The thing we're discussing now.
Yes.
It was a major news element today, right?
Of course.
They require discussion.
Of course, but I get problem with discussing.
We're not relitigating it.
When I say relitigating it, I'm talking about let's not go back to where they did, who were extended. The crux of the matter here I'm trying to say
I was
is
sleeping
that-
at the top and I weird. I was sleeping.
The crux of the matter, Pee-wee, for me is there is this thing out there that Costa just woke up one morning and got upset and left the Unity Party and didn't, and there was no reason. He had no justification as a result. And people tend to forget that because he went far in his criticism, because he crossed lines, right? Because he crossed lines, people tend to forget that he too was injured. He was injured in the process. We don't know what was discussed. We don't know the nitty-gritty apart from what both parties said. All I'm saying is, I believe if President Joseph Boakai never believed, right, that he owed Costa something to, or he had a soft spot for Costa, or they had a long-standing relationship, he would not have accepted an apology from Costa, or he would not have extended an olive hand to him. Forgiveness and interaction is two-way. That two people can do it, right? So I think we as the spectators, we tend, and yes, we are entitled to our opinions because they are public people. But I think we tend to be a little bit. I heard my own old man Sam Jackson today taking it personal more than even Joe Boakai. It's been a year, and like I say, it's inexcusable. Some of the things Costa said, the length in which he went, Kevin, and guess what? That is what he recognized. That is what he recognized. I don't think Costa went and apologized to Joe Boakai because he didn't support him. No, I think the crux of it was, Uncle, I probably could have stayed quiet. I probably should not have said the things, so and so. But you can't tell me that Costa was not injured. He was injured too in the process. So that what gave rise to some of the things, but that is not a justification. But I will end on this note.
My point is, I think you're right. We should not relitigate.
Yeah, I don't want to relitigate it.
Right,
yeah.
but again, the very reason that they agree that he was injured also. Some bruises CM have acquired for this process and the rest of that. But he went back to the same man that he attacked. Listen, there's no way we discuss this thing with Gates Costa or Romeo in the kind of line, right? He played a role, and that's what for me. I don't like to really concentrate or focus on this kind of a discussion. Mr. Boakai focused his way today to do what he did. Now Costa is not doing these things because he been hit behind the scene. You need to extend an apology. You know, apologize to the president. He been working behind the scene to have this thing done. He want to get through the system, the cracks, and all those things. Say, hey, you have to do that. You have to do that. But good for him is that the president accepted the audit branch, what have you, and the president behaved as a real servant leader. That he's the leader of the country, and he's the embodiment and of the society. So he has that was the good thing that happened for him today.
Let me ask a question, right? So
he's been working behind the scene, all those things, but again.
But let me ask a question, right? So when we're not really again, but okay. So like bring President Weah into it. How you think the President Weah is? How you think he react to this, to what happened today?
Let me answer that. President Weah ain't got nothing to do with this. Nothing, absolutely. President Weah benefited from a fractured relationship with two political allies who one decided that he would not support, and President Weah benefited from it. It ain't got nothing to do with George Weah. Nothing whatsoever.
No. But guess what now? Well, let's be honest. You know, some seditions got the one happened when President Weah and Koza reconciled. You know that, right?
They didn't even vote for him.
Yes. So they were not happy because they felt that it shouldn't have been that way. But President Weah was trying to say that we want to win election. We need everybody on board.
Exactly.
Okay? But now, so take for today now, and especially since the election of President Boakai, he took office, the way we have been treated by Boakai.
But is that Costa's responsibility?
But on the point, but somebody who was just a political ally now.
But Dominic, you're making it sound like Costa.
Let me say this to you, and Ben, when I want to hear my perspective.
Yeah. Right? No, I don't want to hear it. You're talking.
Yes, what? We didn't even trust Costa what was happening. We are just benefiting from the fracas at the time that was unfolding. He didn't trust him. There's a man that attacked me, attacked my family, said loose thing about me, but due to the political process that's unfolding, I will try to a little bit play to the gallery here. he didn't trust him at all. We are just accepting this as the leader of the country, and someone come to support and do the endorsement. That's why most of his supporters, his passionate supporters, were all angry. But he accepted that, playing the leadership role, so he didn't trust him. Now he's being validated now by that process at the time. We are being validated now. If you are to sit with you are confident of we can confide in you. He will say to you, those that he really confide in you, say to you, you see the minute? You see what we're talking about? And you see?
My advice, right?
This is where you asking the question. You asking the question.
No, you got my advice. My own advice.
No, but Tommy, before you get to your advice, you asking the question.
Before I forget, my advice, right? My advice. Because
my point is, Pee Wee talking about this weird thing. First of all, I don't know which world we're talking here. This is the support that Costa gave to George Weah. Again, was a result of Costa breaking off ranks with the Unity Party after bitterly fighting. Who told you Weah did not want that support? He did.
No,
but let me finish. Let me finish. Guys, let me finish.
Go ahead.
President George Weah also, it almost was like a validation. Okay, you the one who cost me for the last 6 years, right? You coming to say that all that thing you say about me, I was wrong. I mean, you wrong. The politics. You see it right in this very country. Who is the Secretary of State today? Little Marco? Who pa JFK? Why are we acting like babies?
Ted Cruz,
Ted Cruz, thank you.
Yeah.
Why are we acting like babies?
No, Ben, I come here.
Let me say something. Eugene Nangbe, who is President George Weah's chief of staff today. Eugene Nangbe broke away from the CDC, released and said he was doing George Weah homework. Who George Weah chief of staff today? Why are we acting like, that thing? No.
Calm down a bit. That's why Sasha was saying it can get at Ben.
Because you know why it can get at me? Because you're acting, first of all, Pee Wee, you are a politician. Why are you acting like this is abnormal? Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. Nobody insulted Ellen Johnson Sirleaf in 2003 compared to Vani Sherman. You know that. Who Ellen Johnson Sirleaf went to be chairman of her party in 2011?
But listen,
who?
We got
you know some of the things Vani Sherman said about Ellen. You know,
we got level of the insult.
No, don't go there. Don't go there. You know some of the insults. You know? You want me to repeat some of the insults Vani said about Ellen? When he went in Ellen's personal life.
Guys, I'll be leaving in 7 minutes.
You brought it up. You brought it up. You were saying.
I go my prayer line. I go my prayer line.
When Vani Sherman went personal with Ellen, you see that why I said that why I like my Oma Ellen. That why I like my Oma Dao. Because when you come in this game,
Ben,
let me finish.
It could be trusted in.
My man, leave all that trust talk, man.
But Ben, what can you say, Ben? I come right.
Leave all that trust talk.
But Ben, count 2029, right? Count 2029. If we are running.
So how the boycott trust Kun, who supported Weah for 6 years? And ended up becoming his vice president 6 months before the election.
You know why? Because
won the presidency.
Because Kun supported Boga 2017.
Oh, my man, come in, leave me, man. Come in. What is your? You see, this is my point. So, he supported Boga 2017. Johnson supported 2017. Yeah. What I'm trying to say to you guys is, let's take emotion out of the thing. Everything that is happening, my point here is everything that is happening in this ecosystem is politics. You and I know that. We always like to do that thing where we try to create. That's why I say I let my Ellen Johnson Sirleaf Bene. Ellen is a transactional politician.
Ellen gone. She on the stage.
But that's my point, and that's why that's why she will be remembered as one of, if not the most successful Liberian politician, maybe next to Charles Taylor or neck to neck with Charles Taylor, because he had said they didn't get a second term.
So before we leave,
but Ellen understood the game. She understood it, and she didn't take personal thing. When Ellen got ready to collect Eugene Nangbe from George Weah, she sat him down. She collected all of them. She said, I won't win my election. When she got ready to destroy the CDC and Liberty Party ticket, she used people in CDC. You think she was telling her crying, oh, Akara's cussing me or the person cussing me? No. This is what you do. You go in, watch House of Cards. Y'all will not be doing that. That thing they can be doing like, bro. I see everybody on Facebook. Hey, he caught the man.
So, Chairman, if tomorrow they arrange that you and Baka should meet.
Listen, let me say this. Let me say this. I have no intention to work in President Joe Baka government. I've always told you, Tommy, you know that.
Yeah.
I don't want to work in. I don't want to.
The politics of our country, everybody going to have a say.
Tommy, if the president it's an
it.
honor when the president calls you.
Oh, yeah.
In Liberia, we can do that silly thing about, you greatest. You know why it ends when you, Jenna, a Donald Trump that you don't like. If you get an invitation to go to the White House, you will say, I let Donald Trump.
But man, right now, I get in the letter, man. Right now.
Okay. You who I used to call Donald Trump name. So now I just off the. Oh, Tommy won't have heart attack.
No, for me, I like it. I like
but that's what I'm saying, guys.
John, do what I say you're going to do it.
In Liberia, Pee-wee, you know, the thing I can meet verbal our people. When in Liberia, you got to be a mayor or principal. What you call mayor or principal? You know, listen, the president of the country brings you an honor. You know why it is a sit when one man out of 4 million people, God bless that man, said they made the president. He said, come, let's talk. Then he said, I'm going to go there because people of FIBA. Come on. I'm not going there to go begging. I'm not going there to go say, so you pay courtesy call. I know the president. I know President Weah. That was during my days when I used to go see President Weah. Even though me and he used to be making plow, everybody having heart attack. Oh, yeah, you very Pee-wee. They didn't cost you before? Didn't cost you before?
They did.
You know, we do this thing in Liberia. Everybody get emotional. And you know the other thing I would say before I end, Tommy? Not even half, 99.9% of the people who can be cussing get an asking opportunity.
I know that one. I know that one for you.
Get an asking opportunity. Let them go to bureau and let the president say, you will see them trimming.
Not true.
You will see them trimming.
But before and my own advice is that I would encourage Costa to just remain his private sector of the next few years, 4 years or so, do his business, make his money. And shouldn't be tempted to come and say he wanted what people are saying, to come and say he want to respond to something or get him. Let him just focus. If there's something that's a national issue where they need you want to be part of the national discourse, but not to do a partisan stuff. It's good, but focus on your. I come in bed.
Listen. I'm not saying
focus on your business. You make your money, and then. But don't never be used to go against the opposition or to go against the critics of the government or the president to say, oh, you go against them. Don't do it. Yeah, because you can stay. I mean, honestly, you make. He said in the private sector, you want to make his money. Do that. Yeah. But don't let anybody use it. Oh, the government. They attack too much now. We need you to come and with the attack.
I think Costa himself should understand that he has graduated.
Nobody man push you to do it.
Yeah, I think Costa himself should understand that he has graduated from being
don't be attack dog. Yeah, don't be attack dog. Just
you know, like me. You look at him and be like me now. Do I look like attack dog for any politician? I'm not no attack dog for no politician. Do you know my resume, my political resume? You know, see, if I'm in an election supporting a side, I will fight for my side.
No, but Ben, right now, I'll tell you now. I was telling you the other day.
Yeah,
we shouldn't be allowing no party now. That be for the people.
But nobody allow a party.
When the time come up for election, well, you take a side, yeah. But right now.
No, I'm not allowed. No. Listen, I'm a member of the Liberty Party. I'm still a member of the opposition. But my politics is above the fray. One reason is above the fray is because, like I told you, Tommy, I have scars in this game. I have seen the level of hypocrisy in this game. Yeah. I've seen people today who are accepting government jobs abuse us, abuse me, and made a low letter say, he only doing it because you won't go get a job. No. So I don't worry about what they say. I don't. Public perception is important.
Yeah.
But I don't worry overly. I don't overly bother myself with the mindset that, you go to Liberia tomorrow and you see Boyka there, and me, you go, bro, listen, if I go to Liberia tomorrow, I don't see Boyka, they will find story to talk. If I go to Liberia tomorrow, I see Boyka, they will say, yeah, Boyka. I don't care. And that is my message. I don't care, because at the end of the day, people will always have something to say. People will always have something to say. You know, you saw during the election what they did. You saw the viciousness, all because they had their reasons to.
But you know, man, as I go home, you know, the day that we are considered, we all came and wrote our post on Facebook that day and congratulating the president, wishing him well. We got attacked. But they put an attack that night. I see somebody now. One can be when they can't bring a talk. I said, no, don't create that pressure. I want him to succeed. I want the president to succeed. I want him to fail. That's how
People, bro, he see.
People, you gossip or you talking on the show?
No, I'm talking on the show. I said when Ben go bro, he see the president will say, oh, the making you attempt to see the president. The president say he wants to.
No, but you know, be worse. He go to Liberia and then he goes to go see Boyka. Hey,
but man,
I
know when I go to Liberia, I know which president. I know 2 presidents that I'm guaranteed to see. 2. I will walk. That one I ain't in the appointment. My woman Ellie, I can walk to her. Open her door. Go sit down and lecture with her. My man Jawia, I just pick up the phone and call him. I'm on my way. I will come see you. Boyka, if I feel there's a need that I want to pay a courtesy call on the president, I will do it. I'm not growling to go begging. I want a job from the government. I'm a stakeholder in Liberian politics. And whether anybody like it or not.
Absolutely.
I'm a stakeholder and I have to remain engaged. And that's what they don't get. They think, oh, you meet the president. Do you know what privilege it is to meet the president of your country? You know what privilege is that?
No.
When they in Liberia, oh yeah, there he go again. And so they say now I used to learn when they say Kekura Poto. I said Kekura Poto, one of the most successful Liberian politicians. One of the most. Because he knew how to make friends with presidents. Who ain't want to be friends with president?
I know.
Look at Elon Musk today.
Elon Musk today. They say he told the acting FA boss to resign. The man resign.
In Liberia, Elon Musk will be a grave seeker because you know Elon Musk used to be a Democrat, right? He used to support the Democrats.
But
in fact, all the tech giants used to support the Democrats.
He used to attack Trump, but
he used to attack Trump. That's what I'm saying.
Before the year end, he and Trump will fall.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. In Liberia,
in the beginning, in Trump put in your place.
And Vivek Ramaswamy.
Okay.
You know your man Trump over the man got to be the only shining star.
The man saw how the press conference, the National Transportation and Safety Board chairman, the woman there, he recognized the woman. The woman should have spoke, at least get a one chance to brief the press. He just around and you can't talk. He see that woman. I said, the guy.
What did they make it know? You meet the president. All of them want me Joe. Why would Joe Biden can't to town hall meeting? They can all run there.
Of course.
Why when the president can't have town hall, all of them can run there? Not because they want me. I have the privilege, the special grace, and the special privilege to say that I have known and I know all Liberia presidents from Charles Taylor to day one. How many young people can say that? How many?
Oh, yo, I met all the president. Yo.
Yeah. You know, I have a personal relationship with them. Yeah. Whether you won't get up, you go up, you can't down, that it. In the end, we are stakeholders. We have to remain engaged. So that I think now I can be telling you, Dominic, I say you might be one in Liberia, say, oh, so you go Liberia and the president say, guess what? I want to have a conversation with the closing argument folks. So when I go talk to the president,
we're going to intervene.
Oh, okay. If the president say, I want to have a discussion with closing argument on their thoughts about the country, right? Even if he say off the record, woman, I go there because Liberian people will say, oh, he not back closing argument. No.
Yeah, I won't go there. Tomorrow, go there.
Thank you, Pee-wee.
You say you go there. You got that.
You know, I mean, what I said, Dominic, the thing is sickening. What people can think.
But Bello, Pee-wee, People meetings on I leave now. Let me leave now. The prayer line on. People meetings right. I remember when we met President, we had 2022. We went with Spoon.
Some of the people, yeah.
By the time we left that meeting there, I won't call it. One people that call me. He said, "Georgie, I don't. In fact, I just heard he say, I heard where the girl. I said, girl, what?
Look
I said, girl, I said, oh my man, they say the girl's on you.
The only thing will go out to eat upstairs.
I said,
they brought the food, and we didn't pay for it.
Yeah.
They brought the food from Boulevard.
I want to go chill somewhere. Somebody say when you kept the whole street for 4 hours, you blocked the street.
And we didn't even know they had blocked the street.
You? So they had the poor person down with it. You blocked the street. I said, I know. I said, well, yeah, upstairs there.
Consider I'm a Liberian people, and you think I come to live my life? You think Liberian people will detect how I live my life? Along with my wife, my children, my parents, my siblings, and my relatives believe and know who I am. The public opinion, I live my life in a decent way for me to represent myself. For me to represent myself. But people will always have an opinion, Tomini. Oh, yeah. Always. They will always have something to say. You, me, Boyka. You, me, Boyka. You go to Liberia tomorrow, you see Kun. You went to Liberia, you saw Kun. What did they say?
Hey.
They did not say, Lord say you were coming. I told Lord we're getting ready to go. Lord say you.
I'll leave you to you.
No, man, we got to go back.
They say all the men buy a ticket to go like bro. They want buy.
You know how long we have known Jeremiah Kun?
Oh yeah.
Do you know how long we have known Jeremiah Kun?
Yeah.
For you to say, oh, that we, if my friend is Jeremiah Kun,
but
if I go to Liberia.
During the election, remember that day?
We used to talk to Kun all the time during the election.
The day what the CDC headquarters that day when Kun tested me, he said, "Oh my man," he sent me the picture, right? The picture we took to Costa Hall.
Yeah.
He said to me, he said, "Oh," then he said, "Oh my man, so you support you go support your man?" I said, "My man, what did that intro?"
I mean, we all, and you know the other thing, Tommy, and people, that's the other thing that I don't understand. But then you made your decision to support somebody. I made my own to support somebody. You veil with my own. I don't get it. I don't. You made a decision. Your interest is I want to support Boyka. That's the thing that our friend used to do on Spoon. The Fadiga and all of them. All of them made a decision to support Boyka. In the end, you're benefiting from it today. If we are one, and I said, oh, Ben, can't be minister of X. Oh, that's why you went there for. So many can't be something. Oh, that's why they went there. Nobody's saying it right now. You know what they're saying right now? They're serving their country.
Serving their country.
What they saying, they're serving their country. Our own, we're not serving. We won't serve our own country.
We're going to be looking for a job.
It is the hypocrisy that I can't stand.
And I don't blame it. That was now you say, look, I won't listen to anybody put there for nothing.
I can tell you, Tommy, you
just make you talk. Yeah.
You always got that thing. I can be telling you. I said, Tommy, I've been in that thing long enough. My man, I was 17 years old. The people been talking about me. 17. Oh, look at that one. And why he did drink till all time. And look, I was on the show the other day. I said, where a record? I just look at it. I said, what are you talking? What are you talking? So my thing is, Tommy, I think we need
they putting but just say 9 years on asking where we're going. They don't know what we went through now.
Do you understand what you don't understand what just the fact? Do you understand just the fact we open today? If it was not because of me becoming National Youth Advisor, Boyka will not have a National Youth Council today. Do you know before Boyka made that appointment? You know that
now?
They don't have a youth advisor. In fact, let me break the news. You know, then the Minister of Youth and Sports called me. What a man, Ko Bangalu. He called me. He said, Ben, we went to cabinet. In a recommendation, he said, me and Gafuan made the record. You know, Gafuan was with us to Unity Conference Center. He said, we made a recommendation to the president to name a youth advisor. You know, and your name came up, right? Obviously, that's the person everybody know. Because Ellington had a youth advisor, Marie Peters. They get Marie and Peters, you know. But then Boyka said that he didn't want to just name one person. He said, so they must think about something. So he said, maybe we should name a youth council or something like that. Ko Bangalu called me He said, Ben, you are the first youth advisor. We're thinking about doing this. What your advice on this issue? I would let the president know that we talk and so I gave him my opinion. I said, you know what? I think it would be a great thing to do a council because, you know, when I one person, then everybody start getting jealous of that person. Everybody say, oh, the man is this. The woman, the guy is this, right?
Yeah.
They have the president. Boy, I named the Presidential Youth Council.
Oh.
You got the president of Fly. I think the president of Linsu. I think there's another young person. I think like a 4 or 5 person council in the to do. That's impact. That's impact. The people call me. You think I'm gonna come so like I'm pick the corner.
I know, right?
I support Boyga. So Boyga call me. He say, or the people call me and ask me, no. That's not how it operates. We work. We have a country. We engage. It mean that I'm a member of Unity Party. It mean that I will vote for Joe Boyga. But he's my president. He's my president. What you want? Why you be making all the noise? So yeah, my man, I think it was a good.
Yeah, anyway, look, we have this afternoon. A letter came for the new party. They got a first letter. And the people
the new party.
The people are not small people to play with. Yeah. I tell you right now, money not a problem.
Yeah.
When it comes to brains, not a problem. They got the best and the brightest in the business. And I can tell you that party will be a party that will shake Liberian landscape. I'm part of AO. I get the town cry for AO.
Ben, will you join the party?
Huh?
Which party? I already got
my Pee-wee, I'm a member of the. I'm an active member of the.
I already get my Liberty Party, my man. I'm waiting to see what Liberty Party definition is. What the direction?
I went Liberal March.
And the other thing I can tell them, I only been member of one party. I didn't join NPP. One party in my life.
But guess what? But do you know I voted for UP 97? What about UP 97?
Yeah, I couldn't vote 97. I wasn't of age.
I voted at my first time voting I voted at City Hall.
I was 16. Well, I was 15 years old.
My first time voting. I voted for 97.
But I did wear his t-shirt though.
Yeah. But you know what do, Ben? Because our friend presented our sister. Okay, says Jubia, right? But what neighbors?
We didn't vote 97.
Why is it do now?
Yeah,
why is it do? In a day, we'll go. All right, we'll go there, and then we for them. But we're hanging with them, enjoying the time. Hello, in the net we flip. One day, one guy said, "My man, yeah, I saw you to no place." I said, "Where? You saw me where?"
Many people used to do that.
I said, "Where?" He said, "Namio." He said, I said, what do you mean? I mean, I beg you, you want to put me in Zadetule? I said, I beg you, I mean, for that day, I said, I caught that shit. I don't know, they got grabbed now. No, but politics, Jamelo, 2029, we're so happy. But
the other thing, before we go, the other thing is having that why I support what Costa is doing. Make your money. That is same mindset I got. We all trying to make our money. We're trying to get financially stable.
Oh yeah, if you're not financially stable,
you're not financially. Where the disrespect can come from?
Because I will be on the ballot 2029. I'll be on the ballot.
That a place. People, you agree with me? That a place the disrespect can come from.
You not get money, bro.
You don't get money. Any decision you make, oh, you gonna have money. I told somebody the other day. I said, you see Musa? Musa can take 10 pictures with 10 politicians. Nobody will say Musa going there for money. You know why? Then I said declaration.
Everybody
you are abusing Musa until they saw Musa asset declaration.
Exactly.
That Liberian people for you. So me, I'm working. I will make my money.
Imagine
doing my investments. I'm doing my ventures. That's why I told Kosa, I said, go make your money. They see people that are cursing you today. They will never explain, say, oh, you poor, so you can't do that. It hurts. You know why it hurts? Because it's so demeaning when you hear, you and me made decision together. They say, oh, my own, I went there for money. Your own, no, you went to go vote.
I'm going Liberal March. We're going to do the assessment of our office.
Yeah, Emmanuel 43. Yeah.
Then by the time you look, 2017, 2027, we move Liberal finally and we get ready for the battle. Yes.
You going March?
People are going March. We're going to start the office, get the office thing set up in a district. We're going running.
Yeah.
2027, we'll move there. Imagine, you know what? I got people.
I don't have time.
So how would it? How was the recent the past weekend DC meeting? How was that meeting?
It was very successful.
Very successful
Very
meeting.
successful meeting.
Very successful meeting.
Marcelo like capture you guys somewhere in Maryland.
Very successful meeting. Yes. Yeah. Good meeting.
Very successful meeting.
Yeah, good meeting.
That's some of my morning meetings I can be having. I went to do my activity.
Marcelo like capture.
I'm trying to do my investments.
You know, you got.
Come on, let me tell you, Pee-wee. When I put my knee on ballot in that country again, people forget that I didn't run for office before. When I put my knee on ballot in that country again, they will know.
Me, my first time I do, I will win. I'm gonna worry.
They will know I'm man.
You are such a ground where you're gonna run for. Yeah. And you know the poor abuse the giant was saying with you. Don't go there, play.
I feel the thing is so amazing to me. When I see the people, when I read Musa posts, when I go on Musa page, when I'm reading it, when I see some of the people who can be, chairman, I wish we could have a representative like you. Some of the same people who were cussing Musa the other day.
Can you imagine?
They were cussing Musa the other day. FIFA rogue. There's one. Musa, all Musa had to do was just declare it as a published it. When they saw that money, all the eyeball pop.
Harriet Marcus, that's true. Everything's about interest in his life. That's true, Harriet.
They be acting like
interest.
Like they're not interest.
Interest.
You think
I see. Yeah. You see my first. Look at Bennessy. People look at you. My first.
Donate 5,000 to your campaign, Dominic John. Market now. Yes,
this
Laura.
Is a nurse talking. This is a nurse that got this lady is invested in abroad.
Exactly.
She got property. She got home in abroad. She got making money from abroad. She's a nurse. And I tell you.
No, myself. If I contest him, how much you donate to me?
No, I've been
knowing that lady for many years, man. Come on,
I know.
Hey, Tiwi. Hey.
You did not say. So this is what all this is for. In the end, to run for office, it depends on what you want to do. I'm a politician.
You want to change your country. You sit down. You
got different ways. So Eugenia, let me say this.
People ask you won't go.
Let me say this. Obamacare would have never happened if Barack Obama had not ran for president.
Of course, too many contests.
Barack Obama, who has stayed a community organizer, but he decided to run for president because he wanted to make an impact in his country. And we all celebrated Barack Obama in this country, around the world. And he had just stuck with the mindset that, oh no, I want to run for office because I can't do that. The people will cost me. You will not have 20-something or 30-something million more Americans having health care today. So if anybody on their platform make a decision that they want to run for office, you got to be politician to decide you want to run for office. You got to be politician. If you feel that is the way to contribute, listen. Me, I don't discourage nobody from running for office.
Exactly.
I don't discourage nobody from running for office. You know why? Because I remember when I wanted to run for that Senate, people told me say I was crazy. People told me say I was dumb. I don't know that well, people. I hope they know you. Yeah, people will know you soon. Yeah. So for me, and the other thing we need to do exactly. Otello say I'll be Otello. My president, yeah, me and Otello running in 2029. We forget about all the old people. That one, he can always say it.
And you know what happened, Pee-wee?
He can add a trumbo. So then he can get ready. He can blast at me publicly. Then he can say, "Basically, my running there, I will choose you." But you know the reason, and let me tell you something. You know, one of the reasons I like for us to do this late night show because it gave us a chance to speak and to just chill, right? Yeah. Because I think during the day everybody's serious, everybody's talking about the politics. But I always wanted this outlet where people can get a chance to get to know us, right? The man behind the name, the man behind the myth, all the stereotypes that people got. We're family people. We're normal human beings, right? We're people who are imperfect. We all make mistakes. We have fallen down. We not get up. We're trying to figure out the next way. We're trying to chart a course or path our way. It's life. But there's no notion in like, brother, oh, by the time you support that person, oh, you're doing it for money, or the other person doing that. Oh, no, no. Politics, the greatest, like Barack Obama say, the greatest office in a democracy is the office of citizenship.
Citizenship, yeah.
That is your greatest office because as a citizen, your greatest responsibility is not just electing your leader, it's holding your leader accountable. Our brother Juma Jara,
you expect you were supposed my Jara.
My brother, if you want to run for public office, you have a passion for it, you are well known, you've been speaking. In order to bring change, you got to get in the arena.
Oh yeah.
They say what did Barack Obama say? One of my favorite quotes of Obama. He said, "When moderate voices take a back seat, that's when extremism wins.
Yes.
That's when the extreme characters in our politics find resonance.
Yes.
Because moderate voices have left the field for them. Then you can complain." So I encourage more young progressive Liberians. Go home. Don't be afraid of defeat. Don't be afraid that you will lose.
But you
dare to be different. Dare to be different. Yeah.
Oh, thank you, ISC.
Yeah, look how I'm being ISC.
Oh, the man got young baby.
Oh wow. Oh yeah, that baby. Oh my gosh, she's so cute.
I told you, I the baby uncle, so you know what I mean.
Yeah, we got a reason for our niece, man.
Baby uncle. I see.
Our niece. I see Yiba. Yeah, closing argument. I see Yiba.
I see. Yeah, I mean, I see. You were going on the LBS.
Oh, he was LBS. Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
So you guys are doing great over there.
Yeah.
Fagon
Oh yes.
there.
I thought Fagon, you're doing great. Though. You're doing great.
You're
doing great. Fagon, really, yeah.
Oh, are you seeing with LBS now?
LBS,
yeah.
KMTV, our big man. He's our first anchor. First anchor, yeah. I see Yiba.
And talking, you be serious doing a job.
You remember when I used to drive your boy a boat.
Yeah.
What kind of man you making all the unload lines over the show? Yeah.
I said when I want to vote her, I said with me. Oh yeah, I want her together. Yeah, want to get her have fun there.
But Tomini, it was a fascinating discussion.
Oh yeah, a great discussion, and we'll continue to do it. Like we'll keep on
and then maybe what we can do next time, we'll send the link out to people, some of the folks on the live feed, and they can join us, and let's have a frank and a light conversation. People like Eugenia, Nora,
Eugenia, she not showing her face. She ain't show her face, though.
Yeah, all of them, let them come.
No, but Nora,
I want Joman Jara to come on the show one of these days.
Yeah, Joman Jara, you not can handle. You just stay in the conversation. All you do, you're right.
I want Joman Jara to come on the show one of these days. I want to get a man. I want to get to know the man behind the name.
Even Joman Jara, even Joman Jara, if you support me, say, "Oh, you contribute to my campaign. You give money there. You, Joman Jara, you do it."
But 20, I told you last time. You have to be clear to tell you contest so you can get a planting. But the last time you told me your contest, I was trying to raise resources for you.
My trading march is important. When I get it, yeah.
Okay.
You don't show your face, Eugenia. Stop it. You don't show your face. Stop it. You don't show your face.
Fascinating discussion, guys. Again, we want to send a shout out to the people that get the award.
Oh yeah.
What I mean, so
first International Baptist Church.
For representing us.
Yeah, the first International Baptist.
International Baptist Convention, right, or something.
Yeah, let me see.
We're giving the closing argument award.
Yeah.
Everybody for representing.
They call it the first. Let me see. Okay, there's it. Okay, I got it. Okay, yeah. The first International Baptist Church, Trenton, New Jersey. We are, with our greatest appreciation, presented to the closing argument in recognition of 3 years of service, work, and countless contribution to our community and nation. Thank you from your family and friends in ministry. January 31st, 2025. Deacon David Bestman, Chairman, Deacon Ministry. Reverend Dr. E. Solomon Ernst, Senior Pastor.
Yeah.
The closing argument. Thank you, everybody, for representing us.
Thank you.
For this international award.
We're making a lot of impact, my brother.
Yes. And lastly, we had a very good meeting yesterday, Ben, and was about for the 4th March.
Yes. Yeah.
Will be good. Did we?
Hey, Ayo, what's up? Ayo Spencer. Oh, hey, what's up, bro?
What? Too many what?
The closing argument is here to stay. And I can tell you, better days ahead. Our best days are still ahead.
Our best days are still ahead.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, and we'll be heading to Liberia very soon.
Yes.
Great seeing you. Is that Philip Paswa? Yeah, that Philip Paswa, yeah.
Philip,
Why you think you know Rabo?
Rabo? Oh,
That Philip Paswa. That Philip Paswa, yeah. He changed the name to Rabo G Paswa. That the man, you see the man picture over here, where?
Oh.
Yeah. That Philip Paswa.
Yes,
Nora, please
join the show. Yeah.
And the next show, we're going to send you the link. Yeah. Yeah, please can join the show. The next show, please. Philip Paswa there, my brother. Trust me. Original closing argument.
I'm a fellow from Spoon.
Yeah, from Spoon. Philip follow us. Yeah, all the way. Yeah, I'm telling you, the man say, yeah, I'm telling you that ain't.
I thought I would. Oh.
No, you thought I, brother. I just saw his picture just now. I know his picture. Mm-hmm. The great Philip Paswa.
No, but I owe him a call. I'll call him tomorrow. What?
Yeah.
I'll call him.
And it's a fascinating thing to be able to, to do. The other day when I was going to DC, one woman on a plane was sitting next to me.
What did you say?
Huh?
I want to join your team, but unfortunately, I haven't gotten my t-shirt yet. We got t-shirt?
23 low. Buy good stuff. Maybe you probably deposit t-shirt for CVC.
Maybe I spoon down.
Oh, now your spoon t-shirt.
But Ben, I gotta test them though. I got what? I think
you get plenty of your spoon t-shirt. You used to make it every day.
No, I'll get a stunner, man. That t-shirt, yeah, maybe the spoon fan they will enjoy. I'll get on here.
Yeah. Then when we come on the next time we announce, we'll just send anybody that want the link, we'll just send it to them.
Yes.
I think only 10 people can come out.
Other perspective would be good.
Yeah. Let's have a fascinating
conversation. Juman Jala. I want the Juman Jala guy to come.
Yeah.
Juman Jala.
Dominic, I'm gonna call it. They'll try to call it a night. It was a fascinating discussion. Thank you, guys. Thank you again. We love you. Let's continue to talk and have it. Trust me, sometimes I can get cynical. Ask Dominic. I don't want to get tired. I'm talking again. I'm tired. I don't get patient to be doing. But you can't give up on the country.
Can't give up on Liberia.
The country is a country that we love. There's something about Liberia, as dysfunctional as sometimes that it seems, and the way we can do things. When you are home, you are home. There's that like I just miss the home. I miss eating my Cadiz dry rice.
Yeah, man.
Drinking my coconut water, that natural coconut water. Yeah. Or going to the, just walking on the street and listen, man, there's just something about Liberia. Or that dry rice with that, the dry rice. I can't eat any other salted pork but that salted pork from Liberia. So anytime somebody coming from Liberia, I get big little babies of that salted pork for you to feel my dry rice. Oh, it's
could I bring my hat? I forgot my hat. Yeah. Could I bring my hat down? My hat down. Bring my hat down.
Oh, but you give me one.
Oh, the best thing I brought. Got my hat down. I went into that. Oh yeah, man. You bring my hat down for me. I can't wait.
But like I said, man, guys, we love our country. We got to do better. Like I said earlier on the show, we need a national agenda. We need a seismic change, a shift in our mindset in our country.
Okay, yeah, let me tell this. Eugenia, on Monday we have the immigration people here. They from the immigration lawyers. They
talk about this whole new Trump thing.
We'll talk about the whole thing. We'll have them on Monday. It'll be here. Yes. So
we'll have some surprise guests next week. We're working on a big surprise guest.
Yes.
So Musu, I know how to cook. Ask Tommy and Josh. What?
Musu I know how to cook.
Yeah. I know how to cook.
I want to cook and do. I want to cook.
Let me tell you why I can cook, Musu. The only soup I have not perfected is tteokbokki. For some reason, I hear they say tteokbokki is easier to cook, but I have not perfected it. I do a banging jollof rice. Cassava leaf.
Costa jollof, I can
my jollof rice because Costa said no, my jollof rice. He is second talking. My cassava leaf, is my favorite. Is my favorite Liberian soup.
My favorite
my dry rice. I am renowned for my dry rice. Ask all my friends; they will tell you I know how to make that dry rice. Okay, potato greens. You know how you cook that? The way Mark can cook potato green, I think I can cook my potato.
I like it cooked green. I like the green.
Yeah,
green one. Yeah, the green potato. I like it. Yeah. Yeah.
Cabbage. My kidney beans is off the chain when I put ham hocks in my kidney beans. Trust me, I am well-rounded. No, I'm telling you. Pee-wee, I know how to cook many. And let me tell you, you know why I started really cooking? I started cooking during COVID. During the shutdown. Cooking became an outlet for me. It was therapeutic. You know, I started cooking. I will watch the Food Channel and I would take American dishes and put a Liberian twist to it. Yeah. Of course, my wife don't have to cook. She's really spoiled. She can always say, hey, she's very spoiled. She can cook too, but she's very spoiled. Because I love to cook. The reason I love to cook because I say it's therapeutic, right? I like to be in the kitchen. And when I cook in Tomini, I don't like to I let dirty in the place. Tomini, when I finish cooking, it let nothing happen in the kitchen. I clean as I cook. So if I cut my meat, I'm cleaning it. When I finish steaming that meat, I put it one side. I put my seasoning. I put my. Listen, maybe I need to do a cooking show or the late night thing, right? We need to set up a camera while I cook something on a late night. You know, gotta spice it up and do some fun. So we gotta get creative with this thing, Tommy. I'm telling you. We know how to set trends. Then people will start following, right? Exactly.
No, but my Jenna, that YouTube channel I go follow one day. My food was Jakla. That YouTube not joke.
Look at she said that YouTube.
I'll follow YouTube cooking one day. Like
YouTube cooking.
That was a joke for me. I said, well, I think I would never try it.
I think I got some videos of some of my food and I cook. And I love when I eating my dry rice. I love to eat my dry rice and drink champagne. Dry rice and champagne.
And Pee-wee, how about you?
Pee-wee will get cooked.
Oh yeah, I can do pepper soup.
The easiest food there. Yeah, Pee-wee.
No, listen.
Pee-wee, every Liberian food starts with pepper soup.
I cook very good.
You blend the onion and pepper, then you put in the
every Liberian soup. Come on. Every Liberian soup starts with pepper soup. That is something you gotta face.
I cook very good.
You gotta season that meat.
I cook very good tobogi. Tobosoye, tobogi.
Oh, that's good.
I'm specialized in cooking tobogi.
But you're a lofa man, so that we're talking about.
I don't cook tobogi. I don't lie.
The thing I can struggle in cooking is this because I only potato grains.
I like plaza, but I
cook good plaza too.
My favorite soup, but every time I cook it, I always mess it up.
To cook plaza is very simple.
Man, I can say
you season the meat well. You steam it. You put the frozen. You don't even got to defrost it.
But I love it to be slimmer.
Yeah, but I would say you take it. You to do it once you beat it up and to do something. You just put it in there. You put the oil and the thing is just seasoning.
I eat that thing raw. I eat that thing when it's raw.
Yeah.
And
when you even making, another thing I like to make check rice and gravy.
Oh yeah, I love that one.
When you taste my smoked fish gravy with the crawfish and stock fish, man.
Then I'm talking. And Pee-wee. Man, Toba, guess what? He's like, I'm in the East Coast and then Magama cook.
Because I can be lazy. Let tomorrow I'm cooking. I'm cooking dry rice tomorrow. I've been craving real dry rice and Macan brought me salted pork. That was some of the pork I brought.
Oh yeah,
he's all with the salted pork. Yeah. She brought me my friend salted pork. So in fact, you know what I'll do? I will do my video tomorrow of that thing and I will play it on our next midnight show. Okay. So y'all can see me making my dry rice.
I won't see it.
My special dry rice.
It may like 1 hour telling me I go dry. I want to go eat some
No problem.
Yeah, I know, right?
But let me tell you, my first soup that I learned how to cook, corned beef gravy. That's the first soup anybody, if you want to know how to cook, master corned beef gravy. Because corned beef comes salty. So you got to be very careful how much seasoning you put in some corned beef gravy to make it really nice. You know you can put egg in. I got a little put egg in I boil the egg and then just drop it in it. When you make that corned beef gravy with smoked fish, trust me.
But this another can do.
No, I say will make you all hungry.
My librarian people can take the Liberian dishes with Liberian soup. Then they can fix it for you and they season it. They freeze it. Then they send it. They bring it in America. They come here. It's real Liberian stuff.
Yeah.
Ryan, man, it's part of processing. I don't mess with that too much.
Yeah. And real toboggy oil.
Yeah.
That peewee then.
Le pogen season son no quitter it in n'importe fond de ça ha.
Yeah. Guys, let me kind of
It'll be a pleasure, man, guys. Yeah. Have a nice day, man. Good night.
Dora, Musu, all of y'all have a good. Telly,
Ben.
oh, I tell you, my girl, Telly.
Ben, Liras, who country you from?
Monserrato County.
Where you were born?
Yeah.
Where you apart from?
Yes. And my mom is from Grand Crew.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
My power born with Rossett from Rossett. My mom from Basel, but I was born I'm a Gibby man.
Bandit Murray, I am a veteran. Trust me. I'm dangerous when it comes to fingers. Oh, I got dangerous fingers. Oh, I got dangerous fingers. I can tell my wife all the time. I say, "Man, you leave me, you lose. Oh, I'm not allowed to you. Yeah, you leave me, you lose. Oh, she can be killing herself." But it's a good thing, my brother. We love our country. We're gonna continue talking and continue to do what we gotta do. The great beauty.
Ben, I get my ginger you.
Oh, hey,
really,
Bema.
that's the problem. I probably should have brought it for Tominin to bring it. In fact, I got it right. You want to see it?
Hey, Ben, let me see it, man.
Look at it up, man.
Wait, that ginger, that what drinking election, they did a BCDC, what drinking that thing, that thing come from people. Yeah. Hey, Ben.
Ain't open you.
Damn it.
I got 3.
Hey, Ben.
In fact, I forgot to ask Mark to bring some, sir.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? I will let Costa bring some.
Let Costa bring some, man. Yeah,
yes, I will tell Costa. I will tell Costa to bring some. Because I come in there, then we can all, then people will just get your own from Costa.
Yeah, people, I'm going to pick up my house from Costa.
Yeah, because you close there.
Yeah.
When Costa come in?
I think
Costa come in the weekend.
Give me Sunday, I think.
Yeah, he come in the weekend.
Yeah.
Is he staying Delaware?
Yeah.
That's in Delaware.
Which country are supporting in the final? I'm supporting Lofa.
I'm supporting Grand G there.
Yeah, I'm supporting Lofa.
Supporting Grand G there. I'm Grand G there. Beat.
I let Lofa. You know what? I let Lofa. I let the songs. We ready? Oh, we ready. I let Lofa. I like that. I like that spirit. The way they, the way they can treat their team. Yeah, I like the. Musu, you in Australia? I didn't know you were in Australia.
But Musu, her birthday. She was on her birthday video.
Oh wow! Oh, I didn't know she was in Australia.
Oh, she was dancing. She was dancing on that video.
Why did I think she was here in the States? Lira, I supporting Lofa all the way. Me and Uncle Joe on the same team.
The reason why I let Grange that number 9 up the poor guy. I picking it. I call him Noah. I picking can score that crazy. Oh no! I picking will get Lofa hard time.
So what you think about the picking? I picking those. The picking a Lola do.
You know.
I picking Lola Jera some do, my man.
Yeah, but my thing. I was saying to that, say, hey man. For the short film, he got ready. Hey, may use of because la remember what time other from that was saying, I remember that man.
Look just like the man.
I remember when they begin seeing when he moving the other.
You know how you know the man mustache.
One picture he took when do a play for Zeke Lion.
Yeah.
One picture he do to Jared. I said the man picking Jared do what?
You know just like do my man. I said what him be? Yeah.
Well, they no different. What? I was like whoa.
I'm beating Lofa. And I'm beating Lofa. We all me are supporting Lofa. I let Lofa.
I for Grand G for that number 9 being a play for my team Barrow. So happy.
Yeah.
Ben, how you feel, Barrow fan?
Barrow.
For you? How about you?
Barrow. From long time, I follow my pa. My man IE, but my pa Barrow. I used to
Barrow, my power Barrow. My whole house, 1 point out all about Barrow. My brother, my sister, one of them were for IE.
Barrow. All right, guys.
Okay.
Good night. Good night, everybody. Good night. See y'all.